Because if I find something that they like and something I like, then that's how we do the conversation.
In the Carousel Studios in Hollywood, California, it's the Cara Carousel show. The talk show where VTubers talk about VTuber stuff. To be a guest, go to vupechat.com, click the Start Chatting Now button, and you might have an opportunity to talk with Cara. With over 700 guests and counting. You could be next.
Right, why are you in the kitchen?
Because I'm a woman.
Get ready for the wacky.
So what made you decide to become a VTuber?
Well, the people that made me decide to become a VTuber are canceled now, so...
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Get ready for the funny.
I can't zoom in that far. Hold on, see how far I can zoom in with my eyes. Hold on, let's see. Hold on.
I see more boobs than I do eyes.
Just received to studios. Get ready for the laughs.
Yeah, all right. And, oh, there go my keys. My keys fell off my desk. That's what happened.
And now, please welcome
Cara Carousel. Who doesn't like a good Booker T song? That song is older than most people.
Let's make an Afrobeat hit
Son
in
of a
30
bitch,
seconds. So we're gonna go into Splice. I love it. 'Cause you...
All right, anyway, hello there. Welcome to another episode of the Cara Carousel Show. Freaking, it's another episode of the Cara Carousel Show. And how you doing, Mac? And how you doing, everybody? It's freaking Saturday, December 13th, 2025. 42 degrees in Baltimore, Maryland. 35 in Tokyo. 67 in Los Angeles, 45 in London, and a whopping 11 degrees in Chicago. Oh my God, it is cold. It is cold over there. It's cold over there. It's cold over there. Cold over there. Cold over there. But yeah, we're gonna have some fun today, and we're gonna be doing vupechat today. And also, where the hell is it? Where the hell's my freaking? Where the hell is it? Oh no, we're doing something today. Oh yeah, we're doing this. Yay, we're doing a watch along. Saturday night's main event. Saturday, 7:30 Eastern. About 30 minutes before the show, we're gonna watch Saturday night's main event. You get to listen to us. So if you want to stay on board, if you have the Peacock that is, you little perverts. I'm talking about Peacock. If you have Peacock, you can watch along with us. We gotta figure out how the hell we're gonna get to work, but we're gonna get to work. But anyway, yeah, that should be fun. That should be very interesting. I haven't seen a Saturday night's main event in a while. But anyway, we doing the ads? Of course we're doing the ads, obviously. You gotta do the ads for the show, otherwise this ain't a complete show.
The Cara Carousel show is brought to you by VuPchat, the website where you can chat with VTubers, express your original self, and meet new friends. And by Baltimore, Maryland. There's more than murder here. And by Powerade, the official sports drink of the Cara Carousel show.
Maybe not. Okay, well,
and by Duolingo, the world's most popular way to learn a new language.
So us learning Portuguese is we're sponsoring it. Have Duolingo be the sponsor of the show. Why the hell not? All right, where the heck is the VoopChat window for the Voop of the chatting? Is that the one for the Voop and the chatting? I think that is. All right, I gotta get rid of this. And there it is. All right, the Voop and the chatting. There's already 33 people online. Let's see who we run into. And eventually we will have our own custom thing here. So when you'll know it's me. It's like, oh, it's Cara. If you're vision impaired, you will know. You will know when Kara's online. And
Oh, Kara's online.
Of course I'm online. I'm always online.
I know.
Yeah, I was the most viewed or the most talked to with like 4 other VTubers. Wait, who was your most talked to?
You. That makes it 5.
Yes. 5 VTubers.
You talk to everybody.
I talk to damn near. I'm on freaking 5 people's list. Wait, hold on.
And that's probably gonna go up.
Hold on, let's see here. Ray's 1. You're 2. Dusty's 3. Batty Hop is 4. The Sniper Down, I believe, is 5.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm the most talked to is Cara Carousel. I'm like, damn.
You should have an actual audience now.
Jesus Christ. The most talked to, yeah.
You're popular.
We already got our audio bit, so when we pay our $100.
Yep. Congratulations.
I mean when we pay. When we pay, we'll have a little audio cue. When we get queued up, you'll know it's me.
Yep.
Without having to look.
I wonder what will that sound like?
It's a robotic voice basically saying, hold on, what does it say? It says stand by. Hold on, let me see. I made it. I made it.
Stand by for showtime.
I made it with courtesy because I use a robotic like female voice for my whatchamacallit. Well, basically I take 11 labs and you put a robot, you add some chords to it. All right, so what does it say? It says
stand by. You are a guest on the Cara Carousel show.
The Cara Carousel show. Yep, there you go. That's gonna be the bit. It's gonna be all robotic and stuff. So yeah.
Nice.
It's gonna be awesome.
It'll definitely help with a lot of the new people.
$100.
And every penny well spent.
Speaking of which, I gotta pay the other 50 for my VTuber appearance over at the where am I gonna be at? In Atlanta.
AWA.
On Friday. I'll be there virtually. See,
I hope you have a good time.
I can go to conventions without leaving my house. Fantastic.
Are you going with the research club? Oh, nice.
You get 1 hour, and what they do is if you ever decide to do it, they give you a little crash course on how to control the robot. You can use either your mouse and keyboard, or you can use controller.
Oh, nice.
So, but
I'd imagine one of them would be with you to make sure that things don't break down.
You got a handler there to make sure that you basically helping you out. It's like, all right, you gotta go over this bump here, but I guess. But we'll see how it goes. This will be my. Where's my first time meme? I gotta have the picture up every time I say first time.
That'll be definitely a first time.
Definitely be my first time doing the
being in a con virtually.
Being in a virtual con. All right, here we go. It'll definitely be my first time doing the
God.
doing the
that picture will not leave me alone.
Doing the vupechat robot be the first time going to a convention virtually, but we'll see how it goes. Yeah. If
there's a first time for everything.
If it goes well, I'll do another one.
And let's hope it will not be the last time either.
Hopefully it won't be the last. All right, let me put this picture away. Jesus Christ. Put this damn picture away. We're going to get it commissioned eventually, along with the Cara Carousel and some other stuff for 2026.
Sure yeah. Oh, that'll be good.
Yeah, now
it'll be our year.
Yeah, now next year. No, speaking this week, I'm off for the next week, so I'll probably be streaming. I'm definitely streaming Monday, obviously.
You're off for the holiday?
Monday. I'm off for I ain't got to go back to work until the 22nd.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, I got a week off, and then so that's why I'm doing. Another reason I'm doing the research club thing. So it's perfect. Works out. I was like, all right,
nice.
It's like we got bookings for Friday and Saturday, but I'm like, let me do the cheap day first before I just jump in there and be like, all right, this is cool. And then so
hopefully you don't have to work on Christmas Day.
No, oh God, no. Car business only has 2 days off: Christmas and Thanksgiving.
Well, some places could be like that.
Yep, grocery stores.
Yeah, that's the worst. Even though they close super early.
Yep.
All right. Well, good to see you again, Cara.
Yep. Added more to the list. More time to the list.
Enjoy AWA.
Yeah, hopefully. Should be fun, though.
All right, talk to you later.
See you later.
Bye-bye.
Right. Yeah, freaking. I got to see how well that goes. I only got an hour in there, so. Yeah, this run I'm going to do is a. Yeah, I got new redeems. I need to get some more. And hello there. You all right?
Hello.
How are you?
How's it going?
Going all right. Have I talked to you before? I think I have.
I think we have talked before.
I think we have. I got to check my database here, which is my Google spreadsheet. All right, what's your name? Splat. Yes, we have. Okay, I have talked to you.
I thought so.
Episode 28. Back in September of 2025.
It's amazing how fast time flies. We're already that was September. Now we're in December.
We're at the end of the year, for crying out loud.
I could have sworn I blinked and it was February.
And we're gonna it'll be Christmas before you know it.
Where does the time go these days?
Sometimes to your gut, depending on how well you're eating.
You know what? That makes sense. We're just eating all the time.
Oh, especially around this time. Cookies and candy canes and... Do you eat fruitcake? No? You don't eat fruitcake? Or do you know what fruitcake is?
I've never had fruitcake.
It's disgusting. It really is. It's nasty. You don't want it.
Then why would people eat it?
I don't know. Some people like it. Not me.
That's fair enough.
I am not a fruitcake person.
Neither am I.
And a lot of people, they be spiking the eggnog.
That just means you're gonna have. It's gonna taste good and you're gonna have fun times.
Yeah, you're gonna have a good ass time. You spike the eggnog with rum and get drunk.
Exactly. I've never been drunk.
Neither have I.
I've never drank.
Neither have I. You're not missing
anything. It's probably
the better. You're not missing anything. Save your kidneys for something else.
Well, yeah, you gotta save the kidneys for later in life. Those things are valuable these days.
Yeah. Especially now. Oh God, yeah, you need the kidneys. Need them kidneys. So, what have you been up to?
Not a whole lot. Just not much. I don't do a whole lot.
You don't?
No.
You haven't...
I'll get inspired to do something, then lose all inspiration, and end up doing nothing.
No games or anything? No, nothing?
Oh. Gaming wise, I started playing Elden Ring recently.
Oh, is that fun?
I've been having fun with it. I've been dying a whole lot
Well,
though.
I mean, that's kind of the point of the game, right?
Yeah.
I've never played it. I never played it either. So I mean, I don't know. I'll wait till it's on sale.
That's a good strategy. That way, if you don't like it, then you didn't waste a huge amount of money on it.
Yeah, for the most part.
Yeah. I'm being carried by the fact that my brother plays Elden Ring and he's on like New Game Plus 8 or something like that.
New Game Plus 8. Wait, so one shot from like a grunt and you're dead?
I don't know. All I know is that he plays the game a lot.
Well, he must like it then if he's playing it all the time.
Yeah, he really wants me to get into it, so I've been trying to play it more.
I want you to rage at it, maybe.
Knowing him, quite possibly.
No, knowing he wants you to rage at how frustrating the game is.
Unfortunately for him, my rage is not... I don't react much when I rage, I just silently seethe.
Ah, okay. Okie dokie. Why is my microphone? I got microphone's all jacked up. All right, there we go. Okay, good. Okay. Fantastic. All right, there we go. I don't want to be too loud or too quiet.
But knowing streams, it will still say you were too quiet regardless of what you do.
Probably.
Audio balancing is the biggest pain ever.
Oh yeah, it definitely is. Now try being a producer, learning how to mix regular audio. I mean, you need some decent headphones though to mix audio in that joint.
My headphones would not be up to the task. I have like the most basic gaming headset ever.
Audio Technicas are like $50.
Yeah,
but totally worth it.
It's nice seeing you.
All right, nice seeing you too.
Have a good rest of your day.
All right, yeah. Dazzle, it's happening tonight. Saturday night main event. You get to watch me and Matt Gleazy react to bullshit. I think. I hope. I don't know.
Hello there, Cara. How's it going?
It's going all right.
Nice. It's so good that you're actually doing fine.
Yeah, just got off work and we ain't got to work for a week. It's called paid time off.
Cool. Well, I only have 1 week left until I actually have to get for some Christmas holiday. Because next week is going to be something that's called... I don't know how you call it. Usually count how many materials have been stored in such an... Or renovation or something like... I don't know what it's called. I'm sorry.
Wait.
I'm butchering it up.
Renovations of what? Wait, what do you... What, like an inventory check or...
Well, more like an inventory check to see how many materials are of each. It's hard to explain.
So like a end of the year like stock check, I guess.
Yeah, something like it.
Oh, to make sure that I don't know how that works. Depending on where you work, you get one like once a year at least, but I don't know where they make sure you're.
Well, I actually work at the cable assembly, and they actually have warehouse storage where they actually store the materials that we need for the assembly and such.
You said a table store?
I said warehouse store.
Oh, warehouse. Like a...
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Well, today I actually went to Gothenburg to buy some Christmas gifts for my family, and also went with my Gothic attire.
All right.
Again.
Gothic attire in the cold. Perfect for it. Just be all snuggled up.
Yep. But anyways, how was the Elf in the Shelf last week?
Oh, yeah, it didn't really last that long. It was all right. Didn't last too long. I might do that. I don't know. There's a Christmas thing next week where it's gonna be all day long. I don't know if I might stream all day. I
mean,
might start at like 12 noon Eastern because that's a long time to be streaming. Good Lord. 18-hour stream, man. You out your damn mind.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if someone's going to write down all the people they run into in this 18-hour marathon like they did for Halloween.
I mean, that would actually be a really good idea.
And then then Hydro will probably put the stupid Hydro will put this meme up, the first time meme up there, or I'll put it up there. Be like, let me see how many people I run into. Like, first time, huh?
Nice. I mean, an hour ago, I actually saw across Leona Haruka doing some kind of Christmas karaoke with other VTubers.
Oh, yeah, that's going on right now. There's a bunch of people doing that.
Oh, they're still going?
I think, at least from what I saw, I think Sento's part of that, too.
Mm-hmm.
I believe.
I have a really good question. Do you know any Christmas song, Cara? Because it's actually pretty nice to sing something for once or so.
Jingle bells, Santa smell, or Batman smells. Robin laid an egg.
Oh,
and the Batmobile
no,
lost
that
his
one.
wheel, and the Joker got away. Hey! That's the Christmas song you get from me.
Because when I was listening to Leona Haruka's stream, they were actually singing "Grandma Got to Run Over by a Reindeer."
Oh my God! Every time we had that song as a voicemail back when answering machines were a thing. We would have that, and my grandma would legitimately hear that, and she'd be like, "No, I didn't get run over by a reindeer. Why you have people thinking I got run over by a reindeer?
Oh
That's so
no!
wrong. Why I didn't get run over by a reindeer?"
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, back when we had tape answering machines, and that's before your time. Tape answering machines.
Oh, I actually know about that one
Yeah,
because I was born in 1980s.
Oh, I was born in 86.
88 here.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So, all right. So you already know about it. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Indeed.
All right. Well, I'll see you
time
later.
is running out. I'll see you again next time, Cara.
Probably tomorrow, knowing my luck.
Later, taters.
All right. Yeah, we've had 5 people, and hey, Reva, how you doing? Yeah, we've had 5 people be the most for me. It's like, who talked to him the most? Uh-oh, speaking of Hollywood, what up?
Ooh. Hello. Well, I'm not in Hollywood because I don't live in California, but still, welcome in.
How you doing?
I am doing great today.
All right. Who was your most out of curiosity, who was the most time that you spent on vupechat?
Okay. I'm trying to remember from my little recap.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah. I know the number one person I've been hanging out the most with is Kana the Puppy Witch. I know I had some photos around here too. I know I spent like a decent amount of hours from here. Let's see. Maybe I didn't save all my photos for a bit. I think I was like about close to maybe 500 minutes. I'd say so on here. But then again, I kind of only took a few photos and stuff from my recap.
Oh, yeah. According to a lot of people's recap, I was like the most talked. I had the most minutes.
Yeah.
The most minutes has been with me.
Yeah. Who was the one person that you matched up a lot?
Like time-wise, mostly Ray.
I see.
Crash. Yeah, but yeah, like it only puts in like the amount of minutes, or at least from the recap.
I see. I see.
Yeah, it's like
Though there was one funny thing that happened. So when it got to the collab part, it listed that I did some with if I remember based on the photos, the squirrel, froggy cakes, waifu baby, lava lamp, can't remember her name, but her husband is is one of the men from Mythos. And pretty much my number one match was Pia. But the funny thing is that I never matched with Pia on that day. I never did. Though I actually did met her at a convention before.
Oh, okay.
Though I am meeting her again in like a couple of days because I'm going to another convention and she's there.
I'm gonna be at Anime Weekend Atlanta on Friday.
Oh, really? Virtually. I may or may not be there virtually Thursday. Depends. I don't know. I'm doing this from my old laptop, which is running super duper slow, and I haven't like installed stuff. Though I may or may not cancel it, depending on how things go whatsoever. But I will be at Holiday Matsuri the entire week.
Oh, okay.
Hmm?
Yeah. If this research club thing goes well, I'm gonna do more of these. I ain't gotta leave my house.
Definitely do some more. Yeah. Definitely do some more. They're a fun team to work with.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. But yeah, 5 people I've talked to have the most time with me. 5, and it's probably more than that. Knowing my luck.
Probably so. I know there was like I had a top 3 on there. I can't remember. But again, so far, pictures tell me I matched a lot with Kana.
Well, all right. So Holiday Matsuri. That should be fun.
Holiday Matsuri. Yep.
All right.
Holiday Matsuri in the unfortunately in the state of Florida.
Oh, you saying that like it's a bad thing?
Well, if you can handle Florida heat, then
I mean, it's
good for you,
better
I guess.
than the cold up here in Baltimore, Maryland. It's 42 degrees up here. And they talking about snow.
I mean, the only time I've ever seen snow is usually when I go up in the north. But rarely snow does ever come to the south. Well, actually, once during the beginning of this year.
Yeah, you had some.
But then again,
in Louisiana. They got hammered.
Man.
They got hammered with snow, and they were like, "What the heck is all this?" Hey, there's something going on.
Something going on in Louisiana.
What's going on down here?
What's going on? What are we cooking?
I don't know, but all right, it's good seeing
Maybe we'll find out next episode. Maybe so. Right. But good cheers.
Yeah.
Have fun at AWA though.
All right, see you later. Oh yeah, just a reminder, it's happening. The last Cena's Mask Man. Who the fuck is this? No, I'm just kidding.
Hi, dude.
What up? How you?
Hello.
Is that a slushie?
I be good, you.
That a Christmas slushie on that? What is that?
Oh, it's just Christmas in a cup, you know.
Christmas in a cup.
It's just a milkshake.
All right. Let's see. Write your name down. Freaking. Yeah, they got the Christmas thing next week, and I don't know how long I'm gonna be doing that. That's gonna be a marathon next week. Good Lord.
Ooh, it sounds like you're having something fun.
I don't know. It's like the Halloween event where you stream. Basically, it's like 18 hours of just streaming.
That's not bad.
vupechat.
Ooh, fun.
Hey.
Oh, wait, that's gonna be maybe good or bad because like there is like low peak hours.
Yeah, I mean, well, Saturday for Halloween, it was on for a while.
Yeah, but like for some reason, like from my understanding, Christmas time is kind of like that iffy time where everyone's with family,
right.
So it gets quiet on the internet. Or there's like people are like thankful to have somebody on the internet because they don't have the chance to be with family. So like it's in that in between spot of being like active to not active.
Yeah. I mean, it all depends, but yeah, it all depends.
But what about you? It's been fun today, chat being a bully.
No new people yet. I actually just got off work, so I had to rush home.
I mean, I was in the VC with you when you were setting up.
Yeah, I'm like, all right, showtime. And I'm like, all right, gotta get the show ready. We got our own intro and everything. We're like Conan O'Brien. Except without, except without the band. Wait, did Conan have a band? I don't think he did. I don't know. No, he didn't have a
No, he didn't.
He did not have a band.
So there you go. There you go.
All right. I just play any random music that doesn't get me muted on Twitch. I kind of play.
You know, I had friends who told me they could play any music without getting muted because the VODs don't play the music back when it does it. There's like a special way
they
to
mute
do
it.
that.
Yeah, depending. Yeah, they'll mute it, but if it's copywritten, but
oh no, they played copyright songs, but because they maneuvered their stream in a way that when someone rewrites their VOD, it actually doesn't pick up the music. But everyone during that time can actually hear it. And I forgot how they did it because I don't know technology, and I'm like, that sounds complicated.
Yeah,
I would love to know how to do that.
It really does. Unless you're part of like the DJ program, then I don't know how you can do it.
Yeah, apparently there's a way for you to have a plugin inside OBS and it captures it, but it doesn't let the VOD actually capture it. Yeah, no, and I'm like, that's some complicated stuff.
That sounds very odd, but I don't know if I want to do that.
I'm too old to understand this young talk.
I'm like, it may not work.
Oh, it has, because I watched it. I was like, how the fuck do I not hear tones that are playing in the back of your VOD right now when I hear it on your stream? It's like magic. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to believe in that.
Okay. Yeah. So, with me being a DJ, if I play like a remix of a song, I'll be kind of okay. Depending on
oh yeah,
you know, because it's you have a record pool of songs you can just pull from your record pool and be like, hey, works out.
Get creative with it.
Yeah. So, I know I might start asking New Year's resolution questions for the Christmas week or whatever.
That would be nice, and people could be like,
coming up on it now, so.
Yeah, halfway there.
I mean, we're almost in. Yeah. So, what's your New Year's resolution? Do you have any VTuber goals for 2026?
Unfortunately, I used to be. I'm actually a full-time streamer and artist right now, but due to medical reasons with my husband, I actually have to tone down on streaming. So my New Year's resolution as a VTuber and streamer is I'm doing a lot more like offline content and actually doing what people have asked me to do more, like ASMR streams and stuff like that.
ASMR streams.
Yeah, they're like, you have a great voice. I'm like, have you not heard me goblin screech, dear? I don't know what you mean. This is good.
Yeah, I ain't gonna do those. Not anytime soon.
Yeah, they said I should do like read some books with different accents because some reason these sugars like my Southern Belle kind of accent and I don't understand. I like my goblin screeching though.
Oh my god. Okay. All right. Wait, when did the surge happen? Do you know?
It's usually on the hour of every hour. Like last time I saw it, it was like at like whatever hour and 3 minutes.
Okay, so probably 3. Okay. All right, well, it's good to know. All right, see you later.
Java now, dear.
All righty. I'm just gonna pop this every other person. It's time for another. We're doing a watch along. Be sure to tune in on the channel. And who the hell is this? Oh. It's gonna be my new thing. Every time.
Hello,
hey,
my friend.
How's it going?
Huh?
How's it going? No, I mean, I'm streaming, and it's like every time a new person, before a new person comes in, I'm promoting something. There's a collab happening after vupechat today.
Interesting.
Yeah, are you a fan of professional wrestling?
No.
God damn it! Okay. you have no idea what's happening tonight.
I mean, usually I like to watch hot, sweaty men, but you know.
Okay, all right. Hey, whatever floats your boat, bro. No, hey, whatever floats your boat. I am not involved in this.
I just thought that'd be funny.
Okay. He likes hot, sweaty men, ladies and gentlemen. All right. You said it, not me. I ain't saying nothing. You said it.
I did say that.
You said it is on stream, and it will be on demand and on my Plex server and my Jellyfin server, so it's gonna be documented.
Oh no, he's gonna expose me.
I'm sure somebody's gonna clip it.
So, somebody's gonna clip it. Send it to me.
All right, well, you heard it right there. Somebody clip it and send it to him.
That's gonna go on my TikTok now.
Go right on your TikTok, and you can go viral.
I'm gonna need a lot of thirst traps now. Damn it.
Yeah, it's gonna happen. It's going.
I wasn't trying to get thirst traps. I was trying to be funny.
It's gonna happen. We freaking. It's gonna happen.
Oh my gosh! I swear, this slime is pissing me off.
Wait, what? Oh, you're playing Minecraft.
Again.
Okay. Hey, nothing wrong with not playing Minecraft.
I'm getting jumped like it's JJK.
I just don't have the game. I was looking at this one game called Teardown. It's like Minecraft with explosions in it.
Minecraft has explosions in it.
No, this one you can like tear buildings down. Like graphically, it's all pixelated, like pixel blocks, like the buildings and stuff. It's like little Legos. It's called it's called Teardown.
Okay.
It's on Steam for like $30.
That's rare to find a game for $30.
Yeah, it's called Teardown. It's really good. Look really fun. I like watching like videos and stuff of people blowing buildings up. Yeah, it's on sale. Oh hell yeah! I might have to get it now. It's on sale.
How much?
It is on sale. The Ultimate Edition is $24.99. I'm all right. Add to the cart. Add to the cart right now. Just saved me Just saved me $25. All right. Multiplayer is in development. There's no multiplayer yet. Freaking get the Ultimate Edition that comes with. Oh, you still gotta buy a season pass. There's a season pass for Destruction Game. Okay. But
Bro, I hate season passes or battle passes or whatever you call
that's
them.
how
They're
they get
so
you. You gotta keep playing if you wanna do it.
It's trash.
You want all the content. You want all those accessories. You want all those items. You gotta
No,
get the
I
battle
don't.
pass.
I'd rather
pay
just
us
grind for the
$5
item.
every 3 months.
I'd rather just grind for my gear.
Or pay us $5 every 3 months. Well, you play Halo Infinite for that.
It's like I play Minecraft. I ain't got no battle pass.
Halo Infinite has battle pass, but it doesn't expire.
I just grind.
You just gotta grind your ass off. Basically, you just gotta grind until you die.
Yeah, I mean, grinding is fun. I miss the games back in my generation. Back when we could just grind for everything instead of all the games being paid to win.
Everything was on console and we had memory cards. We didn't have DLC back then.
We didn't.
We had to blow in the cartridges to make sure they worked.
Okay. Why you talking about the Nintendo like that?
Those are some good times. I don't know what you're talking about.
It's like, why are you talking about the Nintendo like that? We give them the Nintendos better blowjobs. I'm not gonna finish that I'm not going to finish that sentence.
We were blowing. We knew how to blow. We were blowing cartridges since we were kids.
See, you can always tell which people are going to be the best at giving blows because they played the Nintendo.
They played Nintendo.
Nintendo teaching us things from the very start.
Yep. Well, all right. Go. Good luck. Try not to die from the slime.
Peace out.
All right. Okie dokie. Oh my God. All right. It's happening. That's what's going on there now. Who the hell is this? Oh. Hey, uh-oh.
Hi.
Who's in the Christmas spirit? Everybody in the Christmas spirit today.
How you doing?
Doing all right.
Oh yeah. All the Christmas spirit, all the jingling, all the bells. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. How you doing?
Doing all right. We're doing good. Doing all right.
Yeah.
Hanging in there, but we are.
Oh yeah. It's awesome sauce.
No new people yet, which is kind of
No?
depressing.
I think you found them all, man.
I probably
think
did.
you found all the VTubers to collect like Pokemon. I
didn't call it all 721 or whatever it is.
That's the actual amount.
Hold on. What is the actual amount? Hold on. I can check.
Yeah, what
right
is
now.
the
Hold
actual
on.
amount?
The
Update
actual
me.
amount, 718. Yeah.
What the? Is everything okay at home, Kata? Is everything all right?
I'm only on.
Are you sure?
I only stream twice a week. Yeah, like I'm on VoopChat every day.
Yeah, oh my gosh.
I do VoopChat like maybe
Full-time job.
No, freaking.
Yeah.
I'm never on. I'm on Mondays, but I'm never on Tuesdays, and I'm never on Thursdays. I'm rarely on Thursdays. I'm just very rare. You see me on Thursday. Yeah, freaking. I'll do like one Thursday every 3 months, Only reason I did a Thursday one because I was off Friday.
Ah.
I missed the Thanksgiving one though. I didn't do Thanksgiving.
Oh, I didn't either. That's just because I'm British, though.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't do that one, but I did do Friday. The Friday after Thanksgiving, because there was some chick giving VTuber advice for like going to conventions and stuff. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait. So who was your most chatted with on your VupChat rap thing?
I think it was Pride. Pride held me hostage for like 50 minutes. So
I have no idea who that is.
Pride Cruels? I can't remember. It's been I'm not talking like
I think I've seen her.
Yeah. She held me hostage. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm on like 5 people's fellow stream. Or like it's like 5 people that have most of their time has been with me.
You're just trying to find everyone? Like, you're trying to get your highest number? You're trying to get, like, oh, no!
Oh, that's when the surge is.
What day?
All right, we're trying to keep track, but good seeing you again.
Merry Christmas!
All right, so 43. So it happens on the 43rd minute. Okay, 43rd minute.
Hello.
How you doing? What up?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
Doing all right. So
I'm debating on whether or not I should put lotion on my face.
You probably should.
I say that, knowing full well that all my skincare stuff is just like an arm's reach away, but I'm just so lazy.
You always take care of your skin.
Yeah, I'm not gonna have it forever.
No.
Although there are some guys who just don't take care of their skin. They wash it once a day, don't put moisturizer on, and then the skin ends up looking flawless for whatever reason. And I'm just like, give.
No kids.
Same with hair.
Them having no kids, not stressing them out. Or no baby mama drama. I don't know. It's probably why I look so young. Freaking, I ain't got no kids.
Wait, I don't got kids.
I ain't got no kids, and I don't look like I'm 39. Face.
I think I look a little. I think I look a little bit older than 26. I will be 27 here soon.
Yeah, I'll be. Oh God, I'll be 40 next year. I'm the unk of VupChat. It seems. I'm the goddamn unk. I'm like the third. I think I'm like the third oldest out of people, because I think it's somebody was in their 60s, I believe, doing VupChat.
I don't know why that surprises me, but because it shouldn't. Because there's VTuber grandmas. There's a group of elderly women who are VTubers, and they will share like their life wisdoms. Mainly on the JP side of things. Although I would love for Ian once to come into the sphere.
Ian grandmas.
But
they're VTubers.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's not uncommon. Like there are a couple of older women who are streamers. There's one that whose shorts I like to watch. Yeah, Tactical Grandma.
Yeah, freaking killing everybody in FPSs. I've seen her. She's freaking amazing.
Mm-hmm. She is. I think my favorite ones, aside from like the wholesome ones where she gets matched with like people who are obviously kids and should not be in a Call of Duty lobby, but they're in there anyways, and they're just like, wow, you're really, really good. She's like, yeah, I've been playing this game since it came out. And they're like,
before you were born,
really
young man. you were still a tear in your daddy's eye when I was playing these games. God, I can actually say that with some people now. Oh my God. Like, you weren't even born yet when we were playing this.
Oh my goodness. And you're just like, oh.
I went to a convention a couple years ago. They had the NES Mini, and it was like, man, that's what it used to look like. I'm like, yeah, that's what it was. I'm like, yeah, that was it. And it was a little bit big. I mean, NES Mini because
like,
he was just dumbfounded that the NES looked like that. And we had it was connected to a CRT television.
Oh my goodness.
Good times. CRTs. For the most accurate response times. Fantastic. Have you heard any new people yet?
Ran into some people that I've chatted with before. There's like 2 new people that I've ran into. I ran into one of the partners. There was audio issues. I could not hear anything they were hearing or saying. But Ava Lambs. Beautiful model.
Oh, Ava
Seems
Lamb.
like a lovely person.
Yeah, I ran into her. I ran into her like months ago.
And then I ran.
But yeah. And then you ran into who?
Ran into Splat Nexus, who I have never seen before. Ran into Saiken Usagi, who I've chatted with.
I'm the town ho. I know everybody. Jesus Christ. I am the vupechat ho. I know everybody that runs in this chat. Damn near.
Ran into Siggy.
I know him.
Siggy Butt.
I know.
Yee.
I know everybody. For the most part. Except all the partners.
I think that's it. Oh, who was the one before Siggy that I ran into?
Who was the most time you spent on vupechat with, according to your rap thing?
Reita at 202 minutes.
Oh, 202?
Mm-hmm.
Lord. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, Joe and I spent 175 minutes chatting on vupechat here, so.
Hold on, where am I? I know Ray. I'm on like 5 people's list as the most chatted with. But freaking, let me see. Me and Ray spent a total of 240 minutes. Which shocked me because it shocked me. I thought it'd be a lot. I thought it'd be somebody else, but oh well.
Honestly, it's the same thing for me. I'm just like, I'm in somebody's Wrapped. What does that mean? What do you mean?
I'm in everybody's rap for the most part.
But yeah, so I'm just like
at least 5 people's.
I don't know how many of other people's raps I'm in, but I do know that with your number of chats have definitely doubled mine. I'm about like 5 or 6 under 3,000 chats.
Yeah, I'm at 5. Where was I at? I didn't even see 5,000 something. No, 4,530. Well, just say 40. Fuck it. 4,500 something. 4,500. Yeah, we up there. And I'm in the top 0.1%.
I'm in the top 1%, and I'm just like, I doubt that I am, but maybe.
All right. Well, see you later.
Take care, Karen.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
All right, see you later. All right. Reminding you all, once again, 7:30 is the collab between John Cena's last match. Watch along on the Peacock. All right. What the hell is that? Say we're advertising. What are we advertising? We're advertising games now. And
Yeah?
What's up?
You're advertising games?
No, there was a game advertisement for.
Not much. How are you? Yeah, it's actually really cool. I'm glad they did that.
So what?
I'm glad they did that. It was so cool.
What are you up to?
I am excited.
Okay. What are we excited for?
I have Sea of Thieves in like 10 minutes or something like that.
Oh.
I'm gonna up my timer to 3 minutes just for you.
You're playing Sea of Thieves.
Yeah. So me and some friends are gonna get on Sea of Thieves, and we're gonna have a really good time.
Oh, okay. Well, all right.
We're gonna sail the seas, have fun.
Gonna binge and plunder, or I never played it, but I know you gotta do. There's a lot of stuff you can go in there and steal people's stuff.
It is. It's pretty much what it is. However, you don't necessarily only steal other people's stuff. The original thing, in order to get the treasure, you had to go and like dig it up from like treasure maps and stuff like that. Kill skeletons, get their loot, that kind of stuff.
Right.
That's how you get the treasure. Then yes, there's a PvP aspect of all that stuff you gathered can be taken from you by another player ship.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Which is frustrating sometimes.
Yeah. Oh, who was your most chatted with on the Discord, on the VoopChat rap thing?
It was Lacrimosa Rose.
Oh, I was just talking to her.
Yeah, I saw I see Vil is on. I want to match with Vil.
Who
like really badly.
Vil?
The crab on the shoulder of Lady.
Oh wait, hold on. Oh, I've seen the picture. Hold on, let me look at this picture again. I think it's on the Discord.
The red crab on the lady.
So Vil is the crab and not the lady.
Yes.
How much sense does that make?
Because the lady is his friend.
Okay.
And his friend is like just giving him a ride around, as far as I'm aware.
The crab is the VTuber and not the lady. You would figure it'd be the lady.
Isn't that great?
That's very odd. That's like if I was the doll that's talking, like the little plushie here, and have the plushie.
Or even the bell.
Or the bell.
That'd be crazy if you were the bell.
Be a bell VTuber.
The bell on a VTuber's booba.
Right, stuck in the middle there.
The best place to be.
Absolutely.
You just push it in a little. There you go.
There you go. And then
nice and comfy.
Motorboating in there.
It's nice and comfy.
Y'all motorboating. Yeah.
I put people in my booba sometimes.
Okay.
Anyway.
All right then. Okay. Putting things in boobas.
Isn't it great? Isn't
Absolutely.
it great? What's wonderful?
It's great.
Anyway.
Fantastic.
You should try Sea of Thieves sometime. It's really fun.
All right. I'll write it down.
Bye.
All right. Putting things in booba. I do miss the original 151 as well. The original 151 Pokemon. I know who this is. Oh, she skipped me. I know who that was. I was talking to her last week about stuff. The demo, single sacrifice, something. Hey, Hey, oh, he's back. Oh,
hello.
What up?
What's poppin'?
Another day here on VoopChat and another episode of the Cara Carousel show.
Fair enough.
We have not ran into any new people yet.
Are you hoping to run into the VIP today?
It's not my goal, but it'd be cool if I do.
Well, I mean, you did say you want to meet new people, and considering that they're new on VoopChat.
Yeah, and look, might scare him with the voice. I don't know, might scare him with the voice. Because the model and the voice don't match.
Well, I mean, that is true.
But that's what's funny about it. See, you can be dumb. You can be extremely silly. Be like, hey, how you doing? And it's like, oh my God, why does he sound like that? It's like, she okay? Like, she alright? Why does she sound like a black guy that lives in like sound like you in the hood? I don't know what's going on here.
Yeah, I whenever it comes to stuff like anime or going to a convention, it's always hilarious to see the gender traps.
Well, I'm not trying to trap nobody. I let people. Look, if I want to trap you, I have a voice changer on.
I mean, like, that's what it's referred to, where they seem like one thing, but they're actually another. Like Astolfo from Fate, I believe.
But if I say I'm a
where
Babaniku
they look and sound like
and you're a VTuber fan, you'll have an idea of what I am anyway. So
true.
So you already know right off the bat, like, dang, he got a male voice, but it's a female behind it. Like, but it's a male behind the model though. I might put that definition on my, because I'm going to a convention on Friday. I might put that as a definition on my little board here. So if somebody asks, like, why you sound like a guy? I just put up the little prompt. It's like, I am this. I'm a guy who's a female model. Blah, 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 blah. I'm what's considered a Babaniku.
Fair enough. That's something I don't always understand. Why is it whenever a guy cosplays as another guy, it doesn't really work out well, but they can pull off a girl cosplay, and vice versa. While they can pull off a girl's cosplay, but they also pull off a guy's cosplay.
Magic. I don't know how drag queens. I got new respect for guys that try to dress up as women. Hey, y'all are crazy. I ain't wearing heels all day.
True, but it's also impressive when they can actually pull it off.
It's very impressive. You coming out here all dressed up in your drag outfits.
Yeah, that scare the crap out of people when you go into the bathroom other than what people are expecting.
Not really, depending on where you go.
But for people who aren't usually around that.
Some areas is like, hey, it's drag people out here, so you might have to be on the lookout. You might the girl that you flirt with might be a guy.
I know, but I'm talking about for places that don't normally have those.
Well, I don't think drag queens are gonna go to those places. Well, not dressed in drag, at least.
You never know.
I don't know.
I mean,
I don't know how drag queens work.
Well, neither do I. I just know that it's funny whenever people expect one thing, but it's in reality the other.
Mm-hmm. And that's what makes the world go round.
True.
I think. I actually have no idea.
Well, it's one thing.
I have no
idea.
idea.
I can say that it's one thing that makes the world go round.
I have no clue.
Being able to have a harmless laughter.
All right. Well, it's good seeing you again. And
maybe I'll end up seeing you later as well. Who knows?
Probably, knowing my luck. In fact, will I be streaming tomorrow? I don't know. I gotta take my mom to the port. But we'll see what happens, though. We'll see what happens. I'll see you later.
Stay around.
All right. It was Fireclaw. 140 people. This might be a short stream. Maybe. We don't know. We don't know yet. But we'll find out in the meantime. And in between time.
Oh my god, it's Cara.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's me.
Hell yeah. How you been today, Cara?
I'm doing all right.
I just woken up right now. I was like, I don't know what do I want to do today, man.
You late as hell. Wait, it's probably...
I'm always late as hell. What can you expect from me? Every time that I wake up, I always end up being stay awake at 2:30 a.m. in the morning for me, or basically at midnight.
Ah, well, it's late over there now, isn't it?
5:01 p.m.
Oh, okay. Wait, you just woke up?
Yes.
What the hell were you doing last night that you just woke up?
Confession, I was doing some lore writing, editing, and trying to figure out what to do to help a friend. That's all.
Okay.
It's not like I was debating on being hyper focused on my writing.
Lore writing. Okay.
Yep.
Lore writing at freaking late night, and then falling asleep and waking up at 5 in the afternoon.
Yes, that's me.
I don't think I've ever woken up that late from a sleep ever. 12 noon
Really?
maybe, but not 5 p.m.
I mean,
and I've gone to bed like late. Latest I've ever gone to bed is like 6 in the morning. when the sun was coming up.
Mm-hmm. Which is funny enough that you mentioned. Ever since I was a kid, I just stood up wide awake through the morning. I'm not even kidding.
Okay.
My aunts questioned me saying, "Are you okay?" It's like, I don't know. I feel wide awake. I want to go to bed.
Well, go to bed. Well, wake. Well, I would say get you some breakfast, but it's 5 p.m. Get you some dinner and then go to bed on that, I guess. So you can get your sleep thing recovered.
I mean, I can try, but I'll see what I can do.
Okay.
Other than that, it is Cara. It was good to see you again, and it's
All right.
lovely chatting with you as always. Also, what do you think about the Saint Rose the Third again?
Oh, it's a great game. I've played and beaten it.
Oh no, like me and Dinky played it actually.
Oh, I kind of just I go in there and then I look and it's like, hey, you're doing co-op and all. So, but yeah, it's fine.
Yep.
Nothing wrong with it.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to the next time we do.
All
so
right.
Looking forward to it.
And then get the fourth
Alrighty.
one too. Fourth one's even better.
Oh, I will.
Right.
I will. Take care, Cara.
All right. Yep. Saints Row 4, the fourth one. All right. Once again, we're doing this. I have to keep popping that up. I'm gonna keep popping that. All right. Once again, at 7:30 Eastern, it's the last Cena match we're having. John Cena's last match. John Cena taking on Gunther for the whatchamacallit, for the. There's no title involved, right? There's no title. There's no title. There's no title. Hey, here is another one of the people that I'm one of his most viewed and his most active. The Sniper Down, ladies and gentlemen. How's it going?
It's doing all right. Wait, we're not friends on VoodChat?
How are we not friends? You're the most talked to. You're on. I'm on your Wrapped as the most talked to, along with like 5 other VTubers.
Yeah, you talk to a lot of.
I talk to a lot of people.
But we're not.
I'm
friends.
the town, and I'm basically the town ho. I'm the town ho of VoodChat. I've talked with everybody, been with everybody.
Well, I'd say you're the town hunk.
Ho ho ho! I'm with everybody. Hey, there's a dog in here. What are you doing in here? Are you coughing up a lung? Yeah, right? You okay? All right, she's all right. Okay, all right. Welcome. All right, we're back. Okay, so dog acting like she coughing up a lung. She ain't got nothing to cough up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like 5 people. 5 people. I'm the most talked with on VoodChat. So it's you. Oh shit. Sammy, you. Dustcrafter. Who else? Hold on. I got a list. Yeah, I know Dustcrafter's one that I've talked to a lot. Let me go back. I think Ray was one. Yeah, I chat with a lot of people. Good Lord, I'm with a lot of people in here. A lot of people.
Yep. Well, I mean, I'd say you're more of an unk.
Yeah, I am an unk. Let me see here. Let's see. Oh, Batty Hop. That's another one.
Batty.
Yeah, I've chatted with her but most time on VoodChat this weekend. Good Lord. Yeah, I'm everywhere. That's bad. I'm on 5 people's list.
Yeah,
Are the Packers in the playoffs yet? We don't know.
Maybe.
What?
I know they've been doing pretty good.
Why is there college? Oh, Army and Navy are fighting in Baltimore, in my neck of the woods. Why aren't I there? Because I'm here on VoodChat watching. Oh, Navy Army's winning.
There's a Packers versus Broncos game tomorrow.
Packers Broncos. How the hell the Broncos get to where they are right now?
I don't know. I'm not in charge of that.
Freaking the Broncos are actually doing good. And then Phillip Rivers is going to be starting at the age of 48 with his 99 kids.
Jeez.
How many kids? You know, he got a lot of kids. That's why he kept playing. Had to take care of them damn
gotta pay
kids.
them. Yeah, gotta pay us somehow.
Got to pay for them kids somehow. Yeah, Army is winning 16-7 against the Navy midshipmen at the M&T Bank Stadium. Yeah, the Ravens are in Ohio tomorrow. They're facing the Bengals again.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes. They gotta make to playoffs. They need at least some wins to get to the playoffs.
Yeah. I'm hoping Packers make it.
But the Packers, where are the Packers at right now? Let's see where they're standing in. Let me add more time. Let's see here. Packers are at a whopping. Let's see. The Commanders are out. The command.
Wait, they're out.
They're out. They're not making the playoffs. Yeah, they got eliminated this past week. They got raffle stomped by the who they get beat by? The Vikings in apparently one of the shortest games in NFL history.
Jeez.
Yeah, the game lasted like 2.5 hours.
Jeez.
Yeah, it was horrible. All right. Where are the Broncos? Packers. Packers are 9-3-1. And then the Broncos are 11-2.
Ooh.
How they get 2 losses? I didn't know they were man.
How are they doing good this year?
I don't know how they're doing good this year. And
no one's been talking about it too.
Yeah, no one's been talking about how good they are. And then they got, let's see, Carolina might win the NFC South, depending on how well they do here, because the Bucks fumbled that game against the Falcons last night on Thursday with a field goal. And then we got where the Lions at? Lions are where? Let's see here. Who are the Lions facing on Sunday? Is it freaking the Rams? Oh boy, that's gonna be a tough one. That's gonna be a very tough one. We might have to start doing watch along football game watch alongs. I might start doing that. I don't know. Hey, freaking football game watch alongs. We watch football games and have no idea what the hell's going on in there, even though we kind of have an idea of how sports are.
Yeah, I mean, I've played football for you, but I forget most of the rules.
Hey, wait, what position you play in football?
I played defensive line.
Oh, you were on the line. Big. That's right, you are a big guy, so yeah, you had to be on the line.
Yep.
Had to be on the. Were you the one blitzing, or were you the one in like the middle end, or
kind of in the center where all the
defensive end? Happens. So where all the crap happens in the line of scrimmage.
Yep. That was mostly bench warmer. All seasons.
12 seasons ago.
Yeah, I didn't even touch the football field my last game.
Last
game ever, too. I ain't going to college.
You were like, yeah, screw that. I ain't going to college. Nope. Not doing that.
Yep. But, whatever.
Yeah, it is what it is. All right, well, it's good.
A bunch of a-holes in it.
All right, it was good seeing you again. And knowing my luck, I'll probably see you on Monday.
Yep.
For Monday Night Football. Well, I actually will play the. I want to watch football game, but talk about it like I watch like watching football, different sport. So instead of saying touchdown, I'd say home run. Oh man! Where's the crotch? The crotch ain't here. I don't see you, crotch. I don't see you. He is nowhere to be found, ladies and gentlemen, but in the meantime... You're a loading screen on my end. All right, we got to type in black on my end. Okay. So we can see what's going on. I need to add more redeems. That's what I'm gonna do this week. I need to add more wrestling redeems because I only added 2 new ones. One is hold on, what's the one that we just added? We added we added this one, we added that one, and then we got the one of my favorites from Unreal Tournament.
Denied.
Yeah, that's a good. Oh, I need to incorporate more stuff for the throwing system. I do have it. I just got to figure out how to use it and get it on here. So we got the denied. We can do killing spree with the deep voice. But yeah, I'm gonna run that back. Let me run that back.
Denied.
I know, Crotch. I know. I'm a loading screen. You're black on my end. If you're watching, you can see it. I am black on your screen or my screen. Or you are black on my screen. I can't chat with you, but how you doing? I chat with you on vupechat. How's it going? The only way we can chat right now. The only way we chat, but how's it going? You caught up on stuff? How you been? Nobody on demand is gonna see this conversation. So nobody on, we ain't gonna see the conversation, but you doing all right? I hope so. But while we wait for the next person, coming up at 7:30 Eastern. All right, that's enough. Saturday night's main event. John Cena's last match. He's facing Gunther. How y'all feel about that? Gunther? His last match? I mean, you could have put LA Knight in there. Yeah.
Hello.
Hey there.
What's up?
How are you?
How are you? I'm doing all right.
You doing all
How about
right?
you?
You doing good? You all right?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. The voice threw you off, didn't it?
What?
I was saying the voice threw you off, didn't it? You would have been like, wait a minute, look at this fine elf chick, and then all of a sudden you hear a black dude, and it's like, wait a minute, what the hell going on?
What is going on? Well, I did see the pronouns, so.
Well, good thing you saw the pronouns, because you're on a talk show known as the Cara Carousel Show. It's a talk show where we talk with VTubers about VTuber stuff. I'm Cara Carousel. I am a Babaniku, that's the term for a guy using a female model. Elf, Gyaru VTuber. Now, tell the folks at home what's your name and what kind of VTuber are you?
Hi, I am Loritz. I'm Italian American. I do live in Italy, though. I mainly play JRPGs and sometimes horror on the side. I do play other genres as well when I feel like it. And I do stream on Twitch.
All right. Let's see. All right. Well, you say you live in Italy right now.
Yeah.
So it's probably late. Well, it's late over there then.
Yeah, it's oh wow, 11 16.
Yeah, 11, yeah. So 6 hours.
Yep.
Yeah, 6 hours ahead.
So you're in the EST time zone.
I'm on EST. Yeah, I've been to Italy one time. It was all right.
Nice.
I've been to Pisa. I've been to where'd I go? Pisa, Rome. There was a little suburb. I went to Venice. This was during February. It was cold. Oh my God! Don't go when it's cold. It was cold. And then I went to a little suburb in Venice called Mestre. I think that's how you pronounce it. You take a train there.
Where?
It's a suburb outside of Venice called Mestre. Mestre, I think it's how you pronounce it. Somewhere out there.
Never heard of it, so I don't know how to tell you.
You gotta take a train. What you do is Venice. There's a train, and you take the train to Mestre.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So what made you decide to become a VTuber?
Well, I was watching VTubers a while ago when it was first popular, and I was already streamed back then a little bit, but without anything. So I decided, okay, let me do some research. Found that I can do a Vroid model. Took a bit to make the Vroid model, and hi, I'm here now.
And here you are. How long have you been VTubing?
A few years now. Yeah, a few years. I don't remember how long.
All right, few years. Now you say you play JRPGs.
Yep.
Oh, what you playing right now?
Right now, the Trials series.
Trials.
I've been playing. Trails. The Legend of Heroes.
Trails. I've never heard of that.
Yeah, it's not that known. Then also Metaphor Refantasio as well.
Okay, yeah, everybody's playing that.
And recently replaying Triangle Strategy.
Oh, Triangle Strategy.
Yep.
Not one of those Square Enix games?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Wait, what? It's on the... Wait, what's it on? 3DS? No. What system is... or is it on the Switch?
Switch and on Steam.
Oh, Triangle Strategy. Okay.
Yep.
Might have to give that a try. Let me write that down. Triangle... All right. Triangle Strategy. Okay.
Yeah, think of it kind of like Fire Emblem.
Another series that I have not played. Need to try it out. Another series I missed. In fact, no, I'm lying. I played Fates.
What?
I'm lying. I played Fire Emblem Fates with Camilla with Camilla in it. The only reason I know because them boobies got me in there. that got me in there.
Seems like a good. Right. Seems like a good reason, honestly.
Good reason to start a Fire Emblem game. The boobs.
Hey, yep.
Great reason to get in there. Great reason. Now, what's your favorite food?
Oh, Wagyu. That's really good. It's so good.
What? Wait, what?
Wagyu.
Oh, beef.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Wagyu beef.
The Wagyu beef.
Oh, okay. I was like, what are you talking about? Like, oh, beef. Okay. yeah. Ooh, depending on you ever had the Wagyu burger?
Nope.
Oh, you should get one of those.
I haven't.
Yeah.
My dad sometimes orders Wagyu, but sometimes he gets the good stuff, you know. Like Wagyu.
Have you ever had horse?
Iberico. No, I never had horse.
They have horse in Italy you can eat. Like, yeah. I didn't notice that until.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they have. You can eat horse. They eat horse over there.
Never knew that.
Yeah, now you know.
Well, horse is meat, so
technically it is.
Yeah, it is meat.
You'll never look at Uma Musume the same way again now after I told you this information.
Damn, I knew those thighs were juicy.
You'll be thinking about all those failed horses. Like, what happened to those failed horses? They got cooked and chopped up and turned into like pork chops, like at a grocery store.
Half the glue factory and half to the.
They don't even go to in Italy. They don't go to a glue factory. They get eaten.
Yep.
Apparently, it's really good. I've never had it. I wanted to try it when I was there, but it's like, nah, I don't want to. Like, knowing me, I'll be the main one getting sick.
Honestly, for me, if it's something that people do eat, then yeah, sure, I'll try it.
Yeah. Let's try it Let's try it one time. See what happens.
Yeah, I tried something like what's the name? Balut. That's Filipino. And from someone that's outside, it's probably weird because it is fertilized egg, basically, that you're eating. And there's the kind of the baby or still inside, kind of.
Oh!
Yeah.
Yeah, wait, the baby's still in there? The baby's still alive?
No,
you're in alive, baby?
You cook it, and then, yeah, you basically eat it. You eat the fertilized egg with
I'm
the
good.
baby.
I'm good. I'm A-okay after that one. No. Fertilized egg.
Yep.
Nah,
it was definitely an experience.
I'll definitely pass on that one. I'd rather eat chitlins before I eat a fertilized egg, and I hate chitlins. Chitlins are pig intestine.
Oh, gotcha.
It's basically pig intestine. It is not it has a horrible smell.
Well, here in Italy, we do get stuff from the animal because of poor tradition back in the day.
Yeah. And oh my, there it is. I'm looking right at it. I just Googled fertilized egg. And I feel so bad. That's so bad. Now type in fertilized egg to eat, because if you type in fertilized egg, you'll get you'll get if you type in fertilized egg, you'll get pictures of a vagina, like the imagine like it's pictures.
That's what I did.
Get it. Type in fertilized egg to eat.
Okay, I found that.
Images. Oh my god, that is disturbing.
There you go, balut.
That is not. Oh, that's how. Okay, yeah, that is no. I will pass. I will pass on the balut or the barut. Balut. Oh, it's duck egg. That's even worse. Oh no, I can't. That's I'm looking at pictures. No. Just give me the yolk.
I just traumatized.
That's freaking no. That's horrible.
How many times do you get traumatized on stream?
No, this is probably the first time I've had a fertilized egg, and this thing is. I feel so bad. I feel so bad for this chicken. He's like, oh, so bad. That's horrible.
Yeah, he's about to start a new life. Well, he's gonna start it inside my belly.
Start a new life in somebody else's gut. His life was beating a world record on life shortage. That's horrible. That's so bad. Oh, that's not it. Do not Google fertilized egg to eat, ladies and gentlemen, unless you wanna unless you are if you are squeamish, do not Google it. Because it comes up with very disturbing pictures that you're probably not ready for.
Don't look at that, by the way, on chat.
Don't look at that. Don't do it. If you value if you're eating, don't do it, at least. I know I'm sure somebody's watching my show while eating, and I just ruined the whole fertilized egg thing. Yeah, don't do that.
And they just search up fertilized egg.
And people are gonna still look it up and be like, "Why did you have me look this up? I told you not to." But yeah, that is disgusting. All right, let's watch a video. Let's watch a video of a fertilized egg being eaten, and oh god, that's even worse. Fertilized.
That's even worse.
Oh, and this dude just ate it raw. He just literally just ate it. He ate the duckling like whatnot and put salt on it and just ate it and with a big smile on his face.
Yeah, they just raw dog it.
That is raw dog in the fertilized raw dog in the fertilized egg, and yeah, I'm that yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, this is very disturbing. But thank you, Lorix, for the education. And
no problem.
I'm traumatized now.
No problem.
Right.
Have a good day.
Right, see you later. And yeah, that is highly disturbing. Ah!
Oh, that was fucking instant.
Wait, what happened?
Well, if it isn't the Christmas Caracol.
Yeah, it kind of was instant.
Bro. Yeah, no, I literally just finished one. I was literally looking at my home button for a second, and then all of a sudden it's just like, no, you don't even get the chance. I'm like, motherfucker!
And you're like, here I am!
It's like, no, fuck you. And I was like, you bitch! I just wanted to go to the home button for 5 seconds.
Ah.
Yeah, because I wanted to refresh my stuff, because apparently my PC was getting a little hot, so I was going to see if I decided to refresh my homepage. But I can do that after this.
Okay.
It's kind of also my fault for trying Helldivers out yesterday against my better judgment.
Oh, wait, it won't run on your PC?
Let's just say this. You know how the minimum specs are an i7 7000 for Helldivers?
Oh, the minimum
Yeah.
is an i7.
Yeah, like an i7. I tried running it with an i5.
Oh.
Yeah.
Just get.
I had a friend who's like, "Oh yeah, just try it. Oh yeah, just try it."
Get you an AMD.
Yeah, I'm planning to upgrade soon. But yeah, no, I had friends who were like, "Oh, it'll be fine. It'll be fine." I'm like, "Yeah, my PC's running at 90 degrees. I don't think that's fine, Chief."
No. Yeah.
Yeah, so some of my programs are a little on edge right now because of it, including one of them.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I got a.
Yeah, so I'm sitting at 85 degrees right now, and it's not exactly a pretty number.
Yeah, let's see. Where am I on? Let me see. I'm on a AMD. My dog, for some weird reason, wants to play right now. Why you want to play? So I'm pulling the rope while talking.
It's because he likes to go even further beyond.
All right, DX Diag. What am I running on this thing? I don't know. I know it's an AMD. I bought it like, Ryzen 7. AMD Ryzen 7 7700X.
Oh, not bad. Yeah, we're upgrading to a different i7 in the higher series this next few weeks, but it's just a matter of I gotta keep this thing functional until then.
Oh, okay. What kind of video card you getting?
Oh, graphics card's fine. I got a 1660 Ti in here.
Oh, 1660.
Yeah, and it functions enough for most games in the current generation.
Oh, okay. All right.
As long as you got a 1080 or higher, you'll live, kind of thing.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah.
Yeah, so I just need to get my hands on a better CPU.
Okay. Why do you want to, of all times, to play during the Cara
Because
Carousel
they sensed that you were having a show, and they saw the jingle bells on your chest and said, "I need the bell."
Apparently so. That's what I'm pulling this dog. Go find your. Where's Ron? Where's Ron to beat you up?
I see.
I got another dog here. We got a dog for a dog.
A dog for a dog for a dude for a dog.
But yeah, that's weird. So what are you? I mean, other than that, you just upgrading you just waiting to upgrade your PC.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna refresh my programs after I'm done with you here.
Okay.
In about 20, yeah, because I'm gonna let it breathe for 5 minutes, go grab a snack, and then get back on.
All right.
Yeah, because I don't like seeing my PC at 85 degrees.
Nope, totally understandable. All right.
Yes. Enjoy your Cara Carousel show today.
Okay.
Remember, everybody, give all your love and support to Cara.
All right. Ron! Oh, yeah, look. I'm playing with CJ. I'm playing with Ron, you nut. I know he's going to come up here eventually. If you can hear, I have a dog that is pulling, and I'm playing with him. Hey, how's it going?
Excuse me?
How's it going?
It's going great. How are you?
If you hear growling in the background, I'm playing with my dog. Pulling a rope, basically.
Oh, okay.
So if you hear some...
I just heard you're playing with him.
Yeah, I'm playing with a dog. I'm basically pulling a rope, or holding on to a rope, and I'm trying to find the other dog to pull the other side of this rope. Hey, Ron! Ron! Oh, yeah, come in, look. Oh, yeah, I'm playing here. Oh, yeah. I'm trying to get him so I can stop pulling, because my arm's starting to hurt now. It's freaking... Imagine lugging a 20-pound dog around on a rope. Or two, or in my case, 50 pounds.
What kind of dog do you have?
A Yorkie poo. He's like 20 pounds, and then I got a Yorkie mixed with a what the hell kind of breed is that? He's basically a mutt. But he's 30 pounds. So both of them together, freaking 50 pounds of dog. All right, I think he's done.
Okay, not a bad dog to have.
Nah. Yeah, that's.
I respect the dog game.
Not too big. Not too big.
Yeah, I got myself I say little. She ain't that little. I got a little Frenchie.
Oh, French bulldog.
Yeah, she a chonker though.
Oh yeah. They can get real big.
Yep. Tell me about it.
Okay. You done? I think he's done. I think he's done. Is he done? I don't know. Let's see here. Donald Trump. Okay.
Didn't like that, I guess.
We here at the Cara Carousel show we are not a political show. We're just saying it's a joke, ladies and gentlemen. So don't think I'm freaking anti-Trump or we do not do political stuff. It was just a joke. So calm down. All right. Had a little disclaimer there because somebody gonna clip it like he hates Donald Trump. Oh my God, how dare his dog hate Donald Trump or something. But yeah, so all right. But what are you up to? Where have you been?
I've been good. I'm currently streaming myself.
As
most people do, they stream themselves. But
yeah, of course, yeah, stream themselves, yeah.
But yes, just doing a little bit of VoopChat.
Yeah. Have you ran into any?
Almost after.
Have you ran into whoever the guest is? I don't know the guest.
2 in a row, I did.
Wait, 2 in a row. Who's the other guest?
Well, the other one wasn't a guest. It was just a biggish streamer that was on.
Oh, big.
Azure, the Azure Dragon.
A sheer dragon.
Yes.
I don't know who that is.
Oh, fair enough. I've seen her in. I follow her on Twitter, and I've seen her in Zentrea's chat before. And then right after that, I got the partner who was streaming, or was on her. So 2 in a row.
Oh, you get the luck of the draw. You got the luck of the draw.
I never usually do because I didn't get Chonky the other day, unfortunately.
Well, Chonky Lotus.
Yes.
Yeah. Never met her yet, but I will eventually, and she will be a member. She'll be one of the new guests on my show. Eventually. I mean, I'm in no hurry, freaking talking with people, having fun.
Indeed, aren't we all?
Yeah.
It's VoopChat.
I gotta pay my $100 to have my custom alert.
Your custom alert?
Yeah,
what's the alert gonna be?
If you pay $100, if you donate $100, you get a custom alert. You can put whatever you want on there.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, they're doing a donation. You got until like the end of March.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, $100 for a custom alert. Or you can pay $1,000 to have your own item.
Ooh.
Yeah, $1,000. You'll be etched in VoopChat history. Yeah.
Good to know.
All right.
Well, you have an amazing Voop in town.
See you later. And Ghostly Timekeeper, how you doing? Where's our applause? How you doing? Hanging in there, having a good time. Wait, oh crap! How long should the MP3 be? I think it's mine is like 4 seconds. What is this game? And it reincarnated something.
Oh, hello again. It's been a while.
Yeah, it has.
How have you been? How's your community?
It's been all right. My community
enjoying the snow.
My community is mostly people on VoopChat, so I don't even know if I even have a community. To be honest with you. They just come in and it's like, hey, what's going on? So my community is small, very small.
Hey, but that just makes us appreciate them more.
Yeah, I do have regulars that come in. So, but yeah, they're the members of my studio audience. That's my community studio audience. So I treat everything like it's a talk show. So you're a member of the studio audience.
Right.
So it makes sense.
Yes, I remember.
Yeah, the whole lore thing is like I own a studio and freaking we do most of my fame is from VupChat. I do other stuff though. So I do other stuff, but everybody knows me through VupChat. So
what other stuff do you do?
I do. I mean, mostly I've been doing variety for the most part. Like for like at least this Saga Frontier, I've been playing that JRPG. Old remake of remaster of a JRPG from like the 1990s.
Ooh.
Yeah, the before times, before DLC came in.
Before time.
Yeah,
oh my god, before they suck your wallet dry.
The glory days of video games. Or the I don't know, man. That may be depending on your perspective. Both people have different perspectives on whatchamacallit. The golden age of video games. When was the best time for video games? I'm sure a lot of people will say the Xbox Live days when online multiplayer was a big thing. A lot of people will probably say the PlayStation N64 days, or a lot of people will say the GameCube days, or the I don't know, depending on when you were born.
Yeah, what you were born and what your parents got you at the time. Now you can get them all.
You definitely can.
You can get them all and instruct a war.
Mm-hmm. Through emulation and sometimes. Did I say that?
I don't know what that E word is. No. We buy our games with our hard-earned money.
We can't say the E word apparently.
We're just playing it safe. I don't know what you're talking about.
You know how hard it is to find some of those games? Good luck.
Yeah, I don't want to spend $300 on a game that I missed out on, but
screw that.
I just gotta work hard.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly is
that.
Yep.
Oh man,
I just ran the Star Quantum.
Attention. A viewer says hello.
Oh yes, I have. Okay, so he's a friend of mine.
Yeah.
And I passed somebody, not passed, but like after somebody's chat on the loading screen, I'm like, man, I wonder if I'm gonna run into one of my friends. And as soon as I finished that sentence, it was Star Quantum. And I had to tell him, I told him that he needs to shut the fuck up. Sorry for my language. He needs to shut up, and I had to tell him what happened. I'll give him the clip so he can see the proof that he manifested.
Well, all right. Cool beans. Yeah, I gotta put your name down. Write your name down right here, and there we go. All right, cool.
Thank you.
I write everybody's name down. That's my thing. I got to keep track of any new people. I mean, you're not new. I've talked to you before, so.
Yep. Yeah. Before I DVD'd this model.
Yeah. So, what's your favorite food?
Oh my god, I am basic as heck. Chicken. I love chicken.
Okay. What kind of chicken we talking about?
Chicken nuggets.
Chicken nuggets.
Put them on the deep fryer. Put them on the air fryer. I don't care. I'll eat it. It's the cheap fast food I can eat.
What kind of sauce you put on them?
Oh my god, this is where I'm gonna get called out. Ketchup and or honey mustard.
Oh, honey mustard. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, honey mustard.
That's it.
Honey mustard.
That's it right there. All right.
And keep shining bright. You should eat stars for nothing but the.
All right, yeah. Honey mustard. And how you doing, Vault Man? And hey, Kitty, how you doing?
Now, hold on. This guy looks familiar.
Uh-oh, you look familiar.
Look familiar?
Hey, you definitely look familiar.
Oh, must be the glasses.
I can take mine off too. Yeah, you had. Yeah.
Well, I'm not that fancy, but I think I can rotate mine. Oh, never mind. They're glued to my face. They're glued to my face.
Oh.
I'm moving around too much. I'm too hyper.
Alrighty. So, what have you been up to?
I Well, aside from being in trade school now that I have all this free time, I'm just hanging with family. That's my plans for the holidays.
Wait, what trade you doing? What were we doing as far as?
Well, this is my second year for my electrical apprenticeship.
Oh, electric! There you go. Constant work. Electrician.
I'm biting wires.
Which makes sense because you're a mouse. That's freaking perfect. Yo, you need an electrician outfit.
Well, listen, when I stop being broke, maybe I'll commission something.
Holy crap, that'd be amazing. Be the most that'd be a weird lore. You Jin Radare, an electrician. You knew
Gene Radomir,
Jin Radomir, the electrician. You can do freaking tutorial videos on how to repair freaking.
Oh no.
Oh, you're not doing those?
I don't accept any risk. My lawyer has told me to shut the fuck up.
Just wear rubber gloves.
Exactly. You gotta wear the Dexter's mom gloves.
There you go. It's like, I'm gonna show you how to install this switch for your ceiling fan or something like that. It'd be like home improvement.
Hold on.
But there's the
brother.
surge.
It's been a pleasure.
All right.
It's been a
Be
pleasure.
like Tim Allen.
Be like Tim Allen.
All right.
I'll think about it. You take care now.
Oh, the scene of retirement. We're gonna be doing. Oh, by the way, in a few minutes, we're gonna be doing. I'll do it in a minute. I'll show you in a minute.
Cara Carousel.
Hey, what's with the hat? You okay?
What's the hat? I always have a hat. What you mean?
You never had a hat. What are you talking about? It's the first time I seen you with this hat.
What do you mean? I always have a hat. You must be misremembering.
No. You never had a hat.
Whatever you say, boss. Anyway, how you doing, Cara?
Doing all right.
That's great you're here. Doing good is good.
Yeah, right.
So anyway,
hanging in there.
Here's my first question, though. Sorry to take the advantage, but I have a question.
Okay.
Do you know about One Republic?
The boy band.
The boy band.
I've heard of One Republic, but that's all I've heard of them.
You have never heard of Counting Stars?
Wait, the name of the song is Counting Stars by One Republic.
One Republic. Lately, I've been. No.
Oh, that song! I didn't know that was them.
It was them. You ain't no human if you have never listened to that. Or you ain't from Earth if you have ever listened to that song.
Nah, it's kind of one of those catchy teeny bopper songs.
That song was everywhere. You cannot escape it in 2016. You just can't.
Okay, why are we talking about One Republic? What?
Well, they made a song for Arknights and Field and performed it at the Games Awards.
Oh, they performed it at the Games Awards.
Yep.
I didn't watch no awards at all. VTuber Awards, the Streamer Awards, the Game Awards. I ain't watching none of that stuff. The Academy Awards.
At least the Game Awards. Academy Award is boring as hell.
Oscars,
At least the Game Awards is
the Grammys. What's another one? The Country Music Awards, the BET Awards, the Source Awards. That was before your time. Source Awards, which that magazine don't even exist no more. The MTV Awards.
It's still baffling that MTV still exists to this day.
Even though they don't show music videos no more.
They all is, well, let's just say law. The law don't allow it no more.
Probably.
But still, fun fact, if I get a coin for any time One Republic made a song for anime media, I have two.
You have 2 coins.
Which ain't much. Yeah, which ain't much, but I didn't expect that to happen.
Okay, so they making songs for anime now because they ain't got nothing else to do.
Well, yeah, kinda. They made one for Arknights and they made one for Kaiju number 8.
Kaiju number 8.
Yep.
Is that a game or that's an anime?
That is an anime and a manga, but I must say reading is better than watching. But if you want action, do watch it.
I cannot spell. Oh, there it is. Japanese manga series. Set place in the world, not the kaiju. Cause disasters. Kaiju be fucking things up. 16 volumes? Jesus Christ. That's a lot of volumes of kaiju.
I mean, it is a shonen, so it probably ended.
I might give this a read.
You should. It's a slop read, but it's a read nonetheless.
I gotta catch up on my manga anyway, so that might be one I might read.
Mm-hmm. Well, hey, when you add it though, listen to One Republic Invincible.
No, I don't want to
It's
listen
the
to One
song
Republic.
The Wire.
I'm not a One Republic fan.
So good. Oh man, but hey, just give it a listen. Just give it a whiff. Give it a whiff.
Okay, if you say so.
You laugh. I promise.
Okay.
But yeah, but if you're giving a whiff though, give a whiff of "Give Me Something" by One Republic.
Okay, I'll give it a shot.
Yep.
Eventually, maybe,
Yep.
possibly never, but we'll see.
Hey, it is a good synth wave song. So hey.
Okay. All right. Oh, coming up is this. Hey, uh-oh.
Hello.
How you doing?
Doing good. How about you?
Doing all right. We're hanging in there. Oh, yeah, I got to send you the commission. Hold on. Let's do that right now. I'm not going to do it. Let's see. Where we at? VGen. We got to go to the favorites here. Go to the freaking... We got to get the... Who the hell sent me a request? Oh, somebody sent a freaking... Oh, okay. All right. Well, we're going to do this right now because I completely forgot. All right, go to our little save thing here. See all. We gotta go. How many pages is this thing? Let's see here. Ooh, look at that illustration. Good Lord, them titties out. All right, we got that thing there. Let's see, we got this thing. And where the hell is the stupid thigh emote? You need a thigh emote for? What the hell is a thigh emote? Dakamakura commission. That's gonna be like, there it is. Stained glass art request. We're requesting the stained glass art from you. How long? What's your turnaround time? I mean, I'm in no hurry for it anyway, but we're freaking. All right, let's see. Now, do you need obviously you need a reference sheet, right? Duh.
Any reference works, long as you can see.
All right, I can give you one right now. Hold on. Yeah. Let's see here. Which one? Let's see here. Actually, I can give you the first and the second one. Oh. I give you one from my bimbo outfit that's not even out yet. I don't even have a bimbo outfit yet. I could probably give you that one. All right, so we got that one. May I credit? All right. Sure, why not? Credit the artist. Let's see. Hard deadline? No. NDA required. Damn, you charge that much for a privacy fee? Good Lord. All right, so I think we're good. Okay, let me see here. All right, we gotta put our address in here. Gotta put our address in the freaking... Hold on. All right, let's see here. I'm doing a commission live on stream, ladies and gentlemen. For those who can't see, I'm doing a commission of this, whatever this is, Twitter. Okay, all right, let's see. And I understand that this request may not get guaranteed. Submit. I need a billing address. Fuck. All right, hold on. Hold on. All right, let's see here.
Live commissioning. Let's go.
Yeah, doing live commissioning on... What's my zip code? Oh, shit. Hold on. Okay. I don't remember what my zip code is.
That's a good question.
What is my zip code? I don't really know. Okay. Billing address. Okay. All right. I think that works. Billing address. Okay. I think that's it. United States. Okay. Okay, that's the billing address. Okay, requested. I sent the picture. Submit. Fuck! Why won't it let me send the bill? Requires you to share your billing address. It's in there. What the hell? Oh, unless I gotta do it over. Okay, hold on. Let's see here. All right, hold on. We're literally doing. VGen is on some shit. Hold on. But how are you doing?
I'm doing good.
As I freaking talk, we freaking doing commissions on freaking. Hold on, let me see here. Yeah, I completely forgot about it. Okay, because I want to get one. Oh, you gotta share it. Oh, for tax reasons. Okay, there we go. All right, it's been submitted. All right, you got $20 out of me basically.
Thank you.
All right, so I'll be waiting for the invoice or whatever the hell whatever the hell you send. But I'm in no hurry.
Yeah, I will check it after I'm out of here.
But it'll be I'm gonna have this as a picture on the wall here. I don't know where I'm gonna put it, but yeah. I thought I'm like, hey, stained glass art, that looks cool. Might get another one though. So I might get two.
Thank you so much.
Like a bimbo one. I just gotta come up with a concept. Or do you have it? Or not a concept of something? But I'm sure you'll figure it out. Maybe, but I don't know. We'll see.
It was nice. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem.
Have a good time.
See you later. All right, live commissioning on vupechat. My money is gone already. Hey. All right. There's a lot of people on today. And Darkfire, what are you doing? Why is it every time I see you on vupechat, you're doing something that's not safe for work?
How is this not safe for work? Name one thing I did that's not safe for work.
The way you jiggling like you're doing something over there.
I can't blush. So what is it wearing, Cookie?
And now you got two googly eyes. You look like the Cookie Monster's younger brother. Although he does have blue hair. The Cookie Monster's blue. That's funny.
The Cookie Monster is blue.
The Cookie Monster's blue. You like the Cookie Monster's stepbrother.
How about this? Are you happy now? You happy?
Now they look like boobs. Now you got boobs and eyes.
Yeah. I can look at everyone respectfully now.
You're looking down at your own boobs.
Yeah, I mean, you know, if something looks great, you gotta stare at it.
Okay.
Oh,
put yourself back in that jar. I'm just kidding.
You know this one?
I'm joking. All right.
I have an asset that's a full jar though.
I don't think we want to see that.
Yeah. I got bored and I was like, you know, I'm gonna look up jar assets, and I got cool ones.
And you got one that's filled up.
Yep. And labels on it and everything. Yep.
Okay.
It's technically the jar asset that vupechat uses is one of the versions of that same jar.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's from the same series. Yeah. But anyways, I will see you later.
Alrighty.
You are super short.
And you're still a bottom.
No.
Like every time I run into Darkfire, like, man, you're short. Like, man, you bottom. Wait, what is this? Hold on. It's about a simulator. Hey, uh-oh.
Hey, Cara.
Dang, oh, you celebrating John Cena? We're doing what you celebrating John Cena's last match.
Yep, exactly, actually.
Oh, yeah, I'm about to do a collab where we do a watch along.
Oh, nice.
Saturday night's main event. We'll do a watch along. Watch the whole thing, including I was actually trying to go, but back freaking nosebleed seats were like $300.
Yeah.
I'm like, man. I mean, it's literally,
really
it's literally,
ridiculous, yeah.
it's literally 40 minutes for me to go down there because I'm further north. I'm in Baltimore. It's in D.C. So I'm like, man, I could have went, but it's like $300 nosebleed. I'm like, man, fuck that. I'll watch it on Peacock like everybody else.
Yeah. It's honestly a bummer for what TKO has done to this year. Honestly, it's been a pretty bad year.
Oh, as far as like net gross and all that or whatever it is, or just overall?
Oh, it's just horrible decisions, man.
Yeah, moving stuff to ESPN. Mm-hmm.
Well, not ESPN itself, but just rather the quality of product has drastically changed from like last year.
Yeah, I mean they were in that transition phase.
Well, just take a look from like WrestleMania 40, and then take a look at WrestleMania 41.
Yeah, I mean,
and how
you're not gonna top 40, obviously, dude. You're never gonna top 40 after what happened there. You're never really gonna top 40.
Yeah,
I mean,
you weren't gonna top 40, but at least you could do a lot better.
Yeah, 41 was, it was, it was not exactly a good one. It was not. It was hard to watch. There were only. Let me see. The only good matches that were on there were the Bianca Io Rhea match and the and then the other triple threat match with Roman, Punk, and Rollins. Other than that, it was just you ran through every other match. It's like, all right, that's kind of how
I did also enjoy
how
Joe.
I felt.
I did remember also enjoying Joe Hendry popping up.
Yeah, Joe Hendry popping up, but yeah. Other than that, it's like this WrestleMania wasn't that good, and they're gonna be back there again in Vegas next year, and then, oh god,
and then SummerSlam absolutely killed it. So
2027, they're gonna be in Saudi Arabia for WrestleMania.
I'm not as pissed off at that. I'm just more like,
Hell,
they had better options.
They'll be at the Royal Rumble next year in January in Saudi.
Yeah. I'm just more like every single time WWE has gone to Saudi, it's been like crickets. I just don't think they understand anything. So
crowd, look, they're paying the crowd to be there.
Well, no, I just think that it's not as loud as like France.
Nah.
Like, you should have seen Clash in Paris.
I did.
Crowd was amazing.
I did. Because they love, Paris and England are usually the big diehard fans.
Yeah, they were perfect, honestly.
The Japanese are very respectful, so they're very quiet. The Americans, we don't care. Unless it's, depending on the city. Like Baltimore, we show up because we're a wrestling town. We an old school wrestling town. Boston, maybe. Chicago, yeah. Every place else, no.
Yeah.
Every place else, they don't give a fuck. But the wrestling towns that people like, the wrestling towns, then it's like, no. But every other place, like, no, they don't care.
Yeah, pretty much.
But yeah, we're gonna be doing so we'll be doing a watch along a little later on for VupChat. Saturday Night Main Event. So we're gonna be watching the whole thing unfold.
Yeah. Card, I forgot what it was. I know Cody Oba's on there.
Yeah, Cody Oba, AJ, and Dragon Lee
AJ,
against Javon Evans and Leon Slater. You got Sol Ruka against Bailey, and of course John Cena against the Ring General.
Yeah. Every single one should be very nice.
Yeah, every single match should be good. Yeah, they had a really freaking Javon Evans and Leon had a really good match at Bound for Glory. That was really good.
Yeah, Javon is insane.
Yeah, they're very. He's very good. But I'm curious to see what happens. But we'll see what happens.
Everyone's hoping Rock shows up at the end. That's the only thing they're hoping for.
All right, we're putting predictions down on what's going to happen.
Yeah. All I just know is that Kurt Angle's confirmed to be there.
Ooh.
I'm wondering if Kurt is gonna actually be the ref.
Kurt Angle, that'd be interesting. But I don't think Kurt Angle can even barely walk. I don't think he's gonna. Highly doubt it though. But we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Well, ref doesn't even have to bump anyway, so.
Nah, but I mean, we'll see what happens with this one though. But it should be very interesting.
But yeah, Should be very, very nice for Saturday tonight's main event. Hoping Royal Rumble's better. Oh, I also have another one. I might wear that for January, all January.
Oh. Wait, what is it? Wait, what's it say?
Yeah. If you do not know who this is Sami Zayn. So.
Oh, that's right. Or is that Kevin Owens? You mean Kevin
Nope,
Owens?
Sami.
Oh, it's Sami Zayn's font.
Yeah, that's Sami Zayn's one.
Oh, why am I thinking Kevin Owens? Or
yeah, Kevin would be black.
Kevin Steen is the old Ring of Honor people would say.
Wow, that's a name.
Yeah, and El Generico and yeah, over there.
My mic.
and
anyway, have fun. Oh.
But yeah, we should have I just added an extra. But yeah, it should be a very interesting Saturday night's main event. We're gonna be watching it. Hey, your mic took a dump. That's what somebody in chat
over. I accidentally hit it going for my mouth.
Okay. All right, yeah, but should be very interesting to say the least. But
yeah, it should be an awesome time.
All right. Well, I'll see you later.
Bye-bye, Kara.
All right. See you later. You have a good one now.
Yeah. You too.
Yeah, Mike took a bump. But yeah, just a reminder, Saturday, we're coming up in, an hour and a half. We're going to watch, with me and Matt Gleazy, we're going to watch some freaking Saturday night, and we're going to watch it, and I got to prepare some stuff. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. We're gonna wing it as we go. We're going to have a desk, and everybody behind the desk, or freaking, we'll figure it out. He's fat. I gotta add more. I definitely gotta add more redeems. Oh my god, I need more redeems. That's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm gonna do. This week. I'm definitely gonna add more redeems. More Twitch redeems, because I got one already on the pipeline. It's what's this one?
I'm Michael Jordan. Stop it. Get some help.
I'm gonna get one of those. I'm gonna have that as a redeem.
Hello. How are you doing today?
Doing all right.
Yeah, hello there.
We're doing all right.
That's good. Nice to at least get a match earlier on rather than right at the end for a change.
Yeah, well, you're technically 2 hours late.
Yeah, which is fine.
Yeah, it started 2 hours ago.
I know it did, but at least it's not matching us right at the end of the event when there's like no one on for
when
one.
there's nobody else left. And yes, Vault Man, that is a British train station.
Yes, it is a British train station.
Lemon Cloud is a conductor VTuber. He likes trains. He plays train video games.
Yeah, I'm guessing someone in your chat is also British.
I believe
if they can recognize it.
I believe so. I don't even know what stop that. What stop is that? I have no idea.
It's Manchester Piccadilly. It's one of the massive major train stations.
Oh wait, how?
Up north.
Like what? Like the metro train, right?
It's just a big train station. It's got like 14 platforms. Trains go.
Wait, what's the name? What's the name? It's the Manchester.
Yeah, it's Manchester Piccadilly. Yeah, Google it if you want.
Manchester Piccadilly Station. Oh, there it is. Good Lord. Manchester Piccadilly trainline.com. Now, you said, is that like a major hub?
Yeah, one of them. It's more of a major hub for up north.
Oh, up
north. One of the major hubs up north going around.
Oh, okay. Nationalrail.co.uk. Okay, let's look at this thing here. We're learning something every day here on the show. Manchester Piccadilly Station. They got toilets in there. They got baby changing stations in there. Ticket hours 4:30 to 22:30.
Yeah, there's plenty of ticket machines anywhere that people can use.
Closed caption
No
TV. They got Wi-Fi,
problem.
refreshments.
Yeah,
View
that's
live
good.
departures and arrivals. You can
Yeah,
see that.
there's
Okay.
probably not going to be that. Yeah, probably not too much going out now because it's 11 p.m. now.
They got a
So
couple of them going from Manchester Airport, Alderley Edge. I don't know where that is. Let's look
yeah,
at the
that's so
tram
many.
links. Does it have a map? I want to see a map.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, there's a little. There's Manchester trams as well, but that's just around more centre, the Manchester area.
I want to see like the metro map
Yeah.
that this world thing has. Let's see here. You can open in Google Maps. I want to see like the actual. Hold on, I'm
I'll just show you probably the actual station where it is.
Metrolink.uk. That's the Piccadilly tram. Let's see. Oh, there's tram,
Yeah,
bus, taxi. Wait, train and tram are the same, right?
the trams are a bit different. Trams are more light rail, which is more known as light rail and stuff as well. They just more go around to the local areas of Manchester.
Ah.
But the trains go like here, and the trains go here, there, and everywhere.
Yeah, we got to do some research on the Manchester Piccadilly station.
Yeah.
And how many routes this thing has? Because it looks complicated.
Yeah.
I took the train in France. That had way too many.
Yeah.
And I thought New York had it bad. New York's got way too many of those stops too.
Fair enough.
National Rail. What is it? 200th anniversary of the National Rail?
Yeah.
That's the little
Sure
that's
is.
what the website is. Oh. 200 years?
Yeah, of trains in the UK. Yeah, sure is.
Oh, there's a walkthrough of the Piccadilly station. So I can see what that. Let's watch this video of the Piccadilly station. We're gonna watch the walkthrough. Holy crap, that's loud. All right. There's some guys there. Look like they're on. All right, there's a little statue. Looks like it's on crutches. All right, they're walking us through. Let's see. All right, walking through. I see a beauty pharmacy with a beauty supply store. Whatever the hell kind of store that is. I don't know what that is. There's a little train thing. It shows you what's there. There's all the good Lord, there's a lot of I'd be lost in this place. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, massive, big major stations usually. Big major stations usually have shops and stuff as well.
Hotel Chocolat. I'm guessing that's a store. A little tourist store.
Yeah, it's like a chocolate place.
Okay. There's the lift. What we call elevators over here.
Yeah, there's quite a few lifts.
The Piccadilly Mall.
It's a nickname that people call. It's a random nickname that it has for some reason. It's even got Starbucks as well.
Yeah, there's a mall in there. Okay. Then there's the. All right, this is an 8-minute video. I'm just skimming through. Was that a Krispy Kreme? Y'all got a Krispy Kreme in the Piccadilly Mall. There's a Krispy Kreme in there. Oh. Yeah. Krispy Kreme is delicious. Oh, there's a Starbucks. I see the Starbucks right there. All right.
Yeah, Starbucks.
Yeah, this is too big. This is way too. I'd be lost here. I'd be lost.
Yeah, it's not the worst. Yeah, there are worse stations to navigate though.
It's like the hotel. It's like the airport in Atlanta.
Yeah, but trust me, there are worse stations to navigate.
Yeah. No, like the airport in Atlanta it's just as bad. There's so much going on there. Well, okay, that was fun. We watched an 8-minute video in like 10 seconds or in 2 minutes on the Piccadilly Manchester Piccadilly station.
Yeah.
With its 75 routes.
Yeah, they go like everywhere.
Crazy. They branch out.
Sure does.
All right. But what have you been up to?
It's
I mean,
true.
look at freaking goddamn metro. Look at that train stuff.
Yeah. Just been I've also been chilling out and watching a bit of anime recently. Which I sometimes do. Because anime is nice to watch.
Yes, it is. Depending on the anime.
Yeah. I've been watching like Spy Family and Laid Back Camp recently.
Okay.
Which is nice. Spy Family is awesome.
Okay. Might have to give that a watch.
Been enjoying it.
Let me write that down. Spy Family.
Yeah.
Along with Manchester Piccadilly. We're writing that down. Manchester. I'm going to write that down. All right, buddy. We'll remember that.
Okay.
The Piccadilly. All right. Piccadilly.
Yeah.
All right.
The time is going to end.
All right. See you later. All right. Piccadilly. Piccadilly. All right. Cara, back in the old days in the UK, we had a train company called Virgin. Okay. Isn't there an airline like that? There's an airline like that. There used to be an airline. Virgin Airlines, I think. Yeah, the Virgin Airlines.
Cara con la cara.
What up?
What's up, kitty? Oh my god, it's been forever since I've seen your face.
It was a week ago.
Yeah, it was a long week.
That was a long week for you.
Yeah, not really. But oh hey, I heard, and I'm one of the people that got like matched with you in the gift thingy.
As far I'm your most viewed on your rap thing.
Yeah.
Number 6. That's 6 people now. Oh shoot!
Wow.
That's 6 people.
That's wild shit, man.
Yeah. So all right. So let me see here. Ray, Dustcrafter,
Sniper.
the Sniper down, Batty Hop, Sammy, and now you.
Sammy. Oh wow.
Yeah.
I think also Sammy told me that like last time.
It's like Kara's the one I match with the most. I'm like, Jesus Christ, 6 people.
You'll be booping around like, and I felt like I don't know. I feel like I've talked with more people before, but I guess the connection maybe. Yeah, we do get connected like almost every single time.
All right, so Snake, Ray, Sammy, the Sniper down. Let's see here, the Sniper down. Dustcrafter and Batty Hop. So that's 6. Yeah.
Oh, wow, man.
I'm on 6 people's Wrapped. It's the most talked to.
It's wild, man.
Longest time. I'm on 6 people's.
It's crazy.
That's an insane amount.
Oh, have you met with the guest today?
No.
No, nada.
Nope.
Oh, I mean, are they even still on?
I don't know.
Do you know?
I don't know.
Does your nose knows?
I have no idea.
You better knows. You better knows.
So 1, 2, so 6 people. He's like, the most person you chat with is Cara Carousel. I'm like, damn, I'm everywhere. 6 people.
Damn, you be swinging around, Cara. You be swinging around.
I only do this like twice a week. I'm not on Tuesdays and you know what I mean? I'm not on every day.
I don't know what you mean. It's like just like I said, this is wild stuff.
Yeah.
Have a nice one.
All right. Oh, there's a free snow asset. I'm grabbing that shit. I'm gonna have it snowing inside. There you go. Let's put that to our. Let's add that. So for the Christmas event, we'll have snowing inside. So when we have Christmas, we're gonna have it snowing on the inside. Hey, Skysky, what's up? And what's with the emote on the can?
I just put it there for fun. Hey there.
That's funny. Oh,
It's me.
It's like Derp You.
Little version of me, like a little cheap.
Like a little cheapy version of you.
Yep.
I need more cheap. I need chibi art. I don't have any chibi art.
You know what to ask.
Wait, who?
Me, because I made it.
Oh, wait, you do commissions?
Sure, why not? I haven't done any in a while.
Because I need a...
Although it's not really just this one. I haven't done the other emotes. You like this kind of style? Then sure, why not?
I gotta find a style. I gotta find a style for my Dakamakura that I like.
Hey, well, I don't do that yet, but I get
Mine's
it.
gonna be clean. Mine's not gonna be. There ain't gonna be no nudity.
Oh, okay, fair.
Bra and
fair,
panties
fair.
probably. That'd probably be it. But other than that, yeah, freaking no. We gonna clean. You gotta pay extra for nasty.
Agreed.
Gotta pay extra for the nasty.
Guys,
So yeah.
Chat has to always prepare for the extra stuff.
Yeah, so for 2026, we're gonna have a product line on the uwu market, or at least try to.
I hope it works.
Apparently,
out
it costs a lot of money to get on there.
It does, I bet.
It's like
because you're gonna have to pick stuff, right?
No, like if you pay, I think what I was looking at was like $400.
Money.
But you need like, hold on, let me look at it again. Let me see here. uwumarket.us. You need that. Let me see here. To be a partner. Let me see here. Uwu Plus. Join Uwu Plus. Choose a free keychain. Ooh, who would like a Cara Carousel keychain? That'd be awesome.
Sounds like a very handy thing to have around.
Have a Cara Carousel keychain. You have Cara with you in your car. Cara with you in the I was freaking, I don't know, come up with something. An anime poster and
bag.
Let's see, maybe
a poster would be nice.
Maybe a mouse pad. One of those 3D
mouse pad.
One of those 3D ones with the booby coming out. Maybe one of those.
Exactly.
I mean, we can have a shirt. Obviously, get one of those shirts things, and I gotta get licensing eventually. for the first time meme. And the Cara first time meme. We gotta get commission on that to figure out we gotta get commission on this thing here to see what the heck we gotta figure out what where the hell who we gonna get the commission at. That's gonna be a later thing. It's gonna be for 2026. We're gonna have somebody commission the Cara first time meme and have it on a shirt or a coffee mug or something.
Lap it on a shirt.
Yeah, right on a shirt. Only 6 people will get the reference, but freaking it's good. It'd be funny. It'd be hilarious. People are like, what's the content of this shirt? I'm like, well, I gotta tell you. Oh my god, yes. I could put a QR code on it and have the QR code be like a video. Oh, that's genius.
Oh yeah. Do the QR code thing. It's gonna be very helpful.
Have a QR code on the shirt. So if people ask where the shirt came or I'll put like on the bottom of it, story of the meme here, and then you just go in there and you click the video, and there you go. I can make that an actual video.
Yep, go for it.
Oh my god, that'd be very cool actually.
And it gives context.
And it gives context to what the meme is. And yeah, somebody asked, like, what's the meaning behind the shirt? I'm like, well, here's scan the QR code. And it's a video to tell you.
True.
So, see, coming up with ideas. This is great. Fantastic.
Let me know when
Enterprising.
it starts.
All right. See you later.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, we're going to Oh, God, I cannot spell. All right. One new person? Boop doop doop doo doo doop doo boop doo doop boo doop boop doop boo boop doop boo doo doop boop 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 doo. Hey, there's nobody here. Hey, you there? Hello?
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
How you doing?
How are you?
I'm doing good.
All right.
Yourself?
How you doing? We're doing all right. We're doing all right.
I have a quick question.
What is your question?
Now, this question will not make sense because when this person asked me, I'm not sure if he was high on drugs or not. So,
okay.
And so that's you wanted. So the question is heaven is salty that we haven't died yet?
Having a what?
Is heaven is not salty that we haven't died yet?
Heaven is not salty, meaning I haven't died yet. I'm so confused.
I need answers because I don't understand that question.
I don't know the context to that question.
There was no context before and after.
Okay.
I never met this man, and I haven't seen him since.
Okay. But anyway, I do my Voop chats like we're on a talk show. It's Cara Carousel show. My name is Cara Carousel. I am a Babaniku elf VTuber. Now, tell the folks at home what's your name and wait, are you a VTuber or not?
I am.
Okay. What's your name and what kind of VTuber are you?
I'm just a YouTuber. I do not stream at all. And my name is Shimei Oslin Evelyn. And that's it. That's all I do.
Okay, Shimei Oslin. Okay. Live 2D. No, PNG. Okay, all right. SOE.
SOE?
You're SOE.
What does that mean?
The first initials of your three names. Shanae also SOE.
Oh. I was confused. I'm sorry.
Okay. All right. So, what sorry, put my glasses on. So, what made you decide to become a VTuber?
I don't know. I've been a VTuber since 2019, so
damn,
it's been a minute.
6 years.
Almost 6 years, yeah.
Yeah, that's a long time. So, oh wait, what do you do on YouTube?
I just make videos and stuff. I don't really take it seriously, to be honest, but I just do it for fun.
Oh, okay. So kind of like a side hobby.
Yeah, it's a hobby mostly.
Okay. Oh, okay. All right. Now wait, so you do so what do you do? So you don't do so you just do what kind of content do you do on there?
Just crafting mostly, writing, some voice acting things here and there, some talking about books and stuff like that, like simple stuff. Nothing too extreme.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay, cool. What's your favorite food?
I can't tell you because it changes so often. But right now, anything with eggplant in it.
Anything with eggplant parmesan?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. I've had that. I think I've had that. It's okay. It's not too bad.
What about you?
For me, deep dish pizza.
Really?
Yeah, the kind you eat with a fork. It's fantastic.
You can get a regular pizza with a fork.
No. You got to get the pie with the kind that you eat with a fork. The actual pie. It's really good. Oh my god, it's so good.
What's your toppings? Or you just eat it plain?
Nah, you gotta get toppings. Mushroom and meatballs. Sometimes mushroom and sausage.
Classic.
Yeah, gotta go with that. It's perfect. All right. Well, all right. Nice meeting you. All right. Well, you have a nice one now. All right. So hold on. I gotta take a quick break. I will. Hold on. Be right back.
Do you struggle and strain to reach high places, behind the couch, or in small, tight spaces? Well, not anymore. Introducing Grab It, the ingenious new tool that grabs where you can't reach. It's so easy. Now you can grab it way up high or grab it low. Grab It helps out wherever you go. The grabbing fingers rotate 90 degrees, so Grab It can squeeze into the tightest areas and help retrieve lost items. Plus, the soft rubber tips hold and grip so nothing slips. No more shaky step stools. Now use the highest shelf without leaving the ground. Other products only grip when you squeeze, then let go right away. But Grab It has locking ratchet action. Even after you let go, Grab It holds on tight, so there's no more sore hands from holding on. Just turn it on, and it does the holding so you don't have to. Grab It's locking ratchet action is so strong, you can easily pick up this 5-pound bag of flour. Plus, it's super precise. It'll even grab this thin dime with ease, or quickly change a light bulb without using a ladder. Amazing! So next time a shoe is hiding under the bed, ratchet and grab it. Need that paint can high on a shelf? Ratchet and grab it. Even hang plants in high places and retrieve the kids' toys from tight spaces. Plus, it's great for outdoor cleanups. The folding design stores easily. Then with just a click, you can reach under and grab it quick. Grab It, the ingenious new tool that grabs where you can't reach.
Honey, have you seen our cat?
Nope.
Who has the Doritos? Who has the Doritos? You want one? Sorry. Too bad you're down there and I'm up here. Smells so good.
Made it just in time. Okay. Yeah, I had to use the restroom or I had to do something real quick. But let's see. Where are we at? Let me put my headphones back on. As we wait, we talk with more VTubers. We got another about hour to kill, so.
Long time no see.
Yeah, what have you been up to?
I've been alright for the most part, I think. Haven't been all here mentally, but you know how it goes.
Okay. Kinda.
How have you been?
I'm doing all right. Been doing good.
I am exhausted though. Jeez.
Yeah, I had to work today, so.
On the bright side, I am getting emotes done.
Hey, oh.
Yeah, new emotes for a new model I am about to wear and soon.
Oh wait, when's it coming out?
Maybe around like early to mid 2026.
Dang, wait, mid 2026.
Because I still need to find someone to rig the model.
Oh, and that's the most expensive part. Yes,
it is.
That's the most expensive part right now. And speaking of, I gotta see my artist to see if she can. How long will it take her to do the bimbo outfit for this model? Because to do an extra outfit, I got another outfit that I'm thinking about. Well, I've been not thinking about. I've been talking about for a while now. Now that I got this new model, we got a bimbo outfit. I mean, it's more of a like a classy bimbo, not a. She's more of a. Don't Google bimbo.
What?
I thought you were Googling bimbo. You're like, what's a bimbo? You were trying to type in what bimbo was.
What is a bimbo?
No, don't do it. Basically, she's gonna look like kind of like this. It's kind of gonna be like the new outfit.
Pretty.
Yeah, she's not. You know what I mean? It's a little bit on the flirty side. She's got a little skirt on, and she's got it showing a little bit. But yeah, not you know, and her hair's different, and all that jazz.
As people would say, wood.
Yes. I mean, people say wood now on this model. What are you talking about?
I won't. I am not horny enough for that.
I just need a speaking of horny, I got it. We've been talking about getting a Dakamakura done.
What?
A Dakamakura.
A Dakimakura, you mean?
Yeah. Getting one of those.
Oh boy.
Clean. It's gonna be clean. It's gonna be clean. It's gonna be clean. I promise. Clean. We're not getting a nude one. Not yet, at least. Not yet. We're not getting a nude one yet. Maybe later.
Yet.
That's
what I'm worried about. Yet.
I'm sure people are like, can I get a nude one? I'm like, no, you cannot get a nude one.
No. As someone who survived NNN, I'd rather not.
Oh. Yeah, don't get it. You don't need a new one. Get
As I said, I'm not horny enough for that.
Just get a regular one where I have clothes on.
Good.
Where I have clothes on. Is to have one with clothes on. Keep it clean, ladies and gentlemen. We are a clean VTuber here.
If you stoop to that low of a level, I'm throwing slime at your house.
No, I'm not. No, we're not going that low. We are not that. We're not that degenerate.
Not yet.
No, we're not. Not yet, but yeah, we're not. We don't have nude models yet. No.
Not at all.
We don't roll that way.
Thank you.
We try to be as clean as possible, despite us having big boobas and
big junkers.
Besides having big boobas, we try to be as clean as possible. Despite the body. I mean, people seem to like the model, though. Uh-oh, you all right?
Okay, I'm being called now, so I will see you later, Cara.
All righty. See you later. All right. I gotta stretch and then do more stretching, and then stretch over here, and then do that. There we go. All right. Okay. Oh, hey, Ren, what up?
Yeah, big stretch.
Stretching. We're stretching and
Howdy.
more stretching.
Oh, a big stretch. Yeah. How's it going today?
All right.
Nice. What's the count up to?
Only 2 new people today. It's depressing.
Like two new people to you, or like new people to VoopChat?
2 new people to me.
Ah, interesting. Well, I think I met like 2 or 3 people that were like new to VoopChat.
Yeah, I'm
so
sure they were. But
there's hope. There's hope for you.
So
yeah, you'll find some.
What's our number now, including those 2? 720.
Ah, nice.
Yeah, we're at 720. Oh, who was your most?
That's standard definition right there.
Who was your most matched with on the rap thing?
Haru.
Who?
Haru Yosei.
Oh, Haru.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm featured on like 6 VTubers. As far as like length goes, I'm 6 VTubers.
Nice.
I'm on, as far as like conversation lengths and stuff, I'm on 6 people's.
Yeah, I think Haru and I had like hold on, let me find the picture. I think it was like 6 hours.
Yeah, for me it was Ray. Ray was like 200 and how many minutes? Let me see. Let me see here. 240 minutes.
Oh jeez.
Yeah. But everybody else, like, yeah, I even wrote, let's see, Snake, Sneaky Snake, Razash,
Yep.
Sammy, the Sniper Down, Dustcrafter, and Batty Hop. I am on their most visited, like most time talking with them. So
It's so weird. I haven't seen Batty in like forever, like on VoopChat at least. Like I keep seeing her TikToks, but like I've not run into her on VoopChat in so long.
I think
It's
I
very
ran
strange.
into her a couple weeks ago.
Ah.
I think, or last week. You know, I told everybody I'm the town ho.
The town ho.
I'm the VoopChat town ho. I know everybody damn near. And been with everybody. That sounded so wrong.
I've been around.
I've been around all these people and everything. I know what goes on around here.
I know what you
I know where you live. Speaking of, I gotta get $100 to Hydro so I can have my own little custom alert.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Donating money.
Absolutely. Supporting VoopChat. It's a great platform. Do it.
Burning that money like nothing.
Yeah.
Burning money. Like, $100. Like soon as it said custom alert, I'm like, oh, see, that's how they get you. That's how they get you. That's how you get you.
That's how they get you. That's how they get you hooked, and you can't get off.
They get you hooked, and you're never gonna leave. You want to continue to support VoopChat, you gotta pay up now.
I can quit anytime I want.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
You better not quit.
Bye-bye.
All right. Oh my God. You know, I'm gonna say like this the whole time. Be like,
Hello?
hello.
Hi, how are you doing?
Doing all right.
Yay. How's it going? You know, how have you been?
Been doing all right.
Yay. Are you excited for Christmas?
I am.
Yeah.
I am very excited for Christmas.
Yay. I'm so glad you're excited. So how has your show been going? Making new friends?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see you got a name now.
I said, okay, it doesn't matter. Okay, don't worry about that. Anyway, so oh gosh. Okay, questions. Oh gosh.
Let me. What is your favorite food? You know, let's start right there. What's your favorite food?
My favorite food is popcorn.
Oh, that's right. We were talking about that. Yeah, the sweet and salty kind. Yeah.
Yeah, the sweet and salty kind. Oh my gosh, you remember that?
Yeah, because their conversation was almost 40 minutes long. That
was
probably the longest conversation I've ever had with somebody on VoopChat.
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
No, that's fine.
Someone else? Whoopsies.
No, that's fine. No, that's okay.
Damn, now I feel bad for taking up your time.
Taking up what time? People liked it.
Wait, really?
People were engaged when we were talking.
Wait, I didn't even know that you're live right now.
Yes, I'm live. Hi. Hey, say hi to the studio audience. How many people are in here? All 3 people.
Oh, hi, 3 people in Cara Carousel's chat. Make sure to subscribe and follow Cara Carousel on Twitch. And he's a very, very nice person, an amazing talk show host with a very unique voice. And he's gonna get sponsored by something one day, I'm sure of it.
Eventually, I don't know. They gotta pay me. They gotta pay me a lot of money for them to sponsor this show.
Oh my gosh, you're right,
Attention.
because your
A viewer
show
says hello
is
and has
as
received
big
a
as
studio
James
stamp for the
Corden's
day.
show, so it
And
better
James
be.
Corden's show ain't that big, so I must be.
Okay, I should have said something bigger than. Okay, Gordon Ramsay, maybe a Gordon Ramsay show.
Gordon Ramsay, he doesn't even have a talk show
Attention. A viewer says
Oh
hello
yeah, he
and
does
has
not have a
received a
talk show.
studio stamp
Okay,
for the day.
Jimmy Fallon then.
I guess Jimmy Fallon, or I would have said Johnny before I said Jimmy, but oh well. I mean, all right. Jay Leno, maybe. All right, Jay Leno. Oh, speaking of, it is nighttime. I need to switch to the nighttime. It is nighttime. Hold on, we got to switch to the nighttime set. You can buy this.
Okay.
You can buy this on Etsy for like $30.
Oh wow, it's so pretty.
It comes with like a whole bunch of different one. There's one where it's like storming and stuff like that. So yeah, you can do that too.
Wow, that's so nice. I'm very mesmerized by the snow behind you.
Oh, there's a free asset where you can have snow. There's a snow loop. You can download that. You go to the what's the website? It's the Variance Project. Variance Project. They're doing a 25 Christmas thing. I'll put it in the side chat. So all you gotta do is like copy and paste it.
Oh, thank you so much.
Oh wait, but hurry up and do it now. The search is coming.
All right, thank you so much.
I'll see you later.
See you.
All right.
Bye.
Bye now. And hello, Kai Wolf and Naira. How's it going? Oh shit, Matt Gleazy, I gotta give you the invite to my Discord. Hold on, while we wait for that. But coming up in 30 in an hour, we're doing that. Collabs.
Hi.
Hello there.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
You're doing all right. I'm doing good too. How are you doing?
I'm alive.
All right. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I like your motto.
Thank you. Thank you very much. But you'll like it more because you're on a talk show. No, it's a Cara Carousel show. It's a talk show where we talk with VTubers about VTuber stuff. I am Cara Carousel. I am a Babaniku elf Gyaro VTuber. And tell the folks at home what's your name and what kind of VTuber are you? Threw you off, didn't I? He's like, what the hell going on?
Well, I'm not sure.
You don't know what your name is?
That I know, obviously.
Okay. I hope so.
My name's Coffee Cat. My VTuber model is a fox. Human. Yes.
Okay, you're a fox.
Yes.
And
I sometimes live stream on Twitch, obviously.
Okay.
I do like about games and stuff. Well, where I'm playing games.
Okay. All right. So you're a fox. Yeah. Okay. So what made you decide to become a VTuber?
Well, that's a good question. I didn't want to stream like quite some time ago, but like I didn't want to like show my face and stuff, so I thought like, why not? I somehow stumbled upon VTubing through YouTube and etc. and was like, oh yes, I want.
All right. Now I
have.
How long you been doing it?
Well, not that long. I would say like a year.
Oh, a year?
No,
No?
less than a year.
A little less than a year?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I don't stream much sadly now, but
Wait, what
I'm trying to get back at it.
do you stream?
Um. Hmm. Well,
Attention. A viewer says hello and has received a studio
Soul
stamp
Frame?
for the day.
Soul Frame. Oh,
And
okay.
yeah, it's a really nice game. But you need a key for that, as in beta key. So, otherwise, I also play Warframe.
So all the frame games. Soul Frame, Warframe.
And some other games, like just other games.
Okay. Well, all right. What's your favorite food?
My favorite food. Oof. That's a hard one. Like spare ribs, but like from the lamb. I love those. They're just delicious.
Yeah.
And ramen.
With barbecue sauce.
Nah, without.
Without barbecue sauce?
Without barbecue sauce. Just
okay. Yeah, it's still good though.
Salt.
Still good. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
ramen.
And ramen. Oh yeah. Wait, what do you put on the ramen?
It's just delicious. Eggs and other stuff.
Yeah. Well, all right.
Like spring onions.
Oh yeah, that's. I'm hungry now. See, yeah, got me wanting to get some ramen now.
What about you?
With some egg and some. For me, it's the deep dish pizza. The Chicago style deep dish pizza that you can eat with a fork.
Huh.
Yeah, that's some good stuff right there with the sauce on top. You put the cheese on top of that, and then yeah, oh my god, so good.
Would need to try it.
Yeah, get you a Chicago deep dish pizza.
I need money.
Yeah, you do need money. I mean, you can make your own though. But anyway, thank you, Coffee Cat, for being on the show today.
No problem.
All right, you have a good one now.
Thank you.
All right. I know she was like, I know her reaction when she heard my voice was like,
"Hey yo, what the fuck?"
That was probably her reaction. It's like, what the hell going on? I'm not playing a game, Carl. And how you doing, Lemon? Oh yeah, we gonna ready to set up. Hold on, I gotta send Mac an invite to the vupechat. Hold on. Where the fuck? Invite. Let's see here. Hey, what in the world?
Hello there.
How's it going?
Where? What?
Why are you being held by a person?
Excuse you. How am I supposed to stand? Like,
most of the time you're sitting.
Yes, but I want to stand, and I need someone to hold me. I cannot stand by myself.
Get like a chair or something.
You know that, right?
Get a chair.
You know that, right? Cats can't stand.
A chair. Get some kind of chair.
Ugh. Well, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? What's wrong with me? With someone holding me up? What's wrong with that?
No, I was just asking why. It just looks so weird. You being held up.
No. If anything, you're the weird one. Why? What the fuck is going on with the hat? What's going on with the hat? Why is it like over there? What's going on?
Because it looks weird in the front. Because the way the thing is shaped.
You're weird. Make it bigger and make it fit over that little hump thing you have there. Just like what, bruh?
What's
Do you
wrong
not
with
know
my
how
hat?
to hat?
No, I don't really
Do you know how to hat?
It's a small hat. It's supposed to be a small hat. It ain't supposed to be a big hat.
Just make it a big hat. What's the problem? What's the issue?
Now I gotta see. You got me fucked up now. You can make it. All right, it's freaking fine.
I got you fucked up. You got yourself fucked up.
A big hat
Don't blame me.
Since freaking make the hat bigger. Big hat bigger.
Listen, I cannot be the only one crying. What about chat? What about chat?
See, look how dumb it looks. Well, yeah, see, that's why I did like this.
Bring it to the front. Why is it in the back? Bring it to the front.
Because it looks weird in the front. Hold on,
it doesn't if you know how to fucking live 2D.
I don't, which is why I paid money to freaking do live 2D. Live 2D. All right, where's this damn hat? Freaking...
Man doesn't know how to hat. Man doesn't know how to hat.
Got me all... where's this damn hat? All right, hat, asset...
Listen. You started it.
How did I start it?
You said nothing. You said something about my girl. So,
see now, look, all right, okay.
Excuse you.
See now, all right. See now, I put the hat on. Now look how dumb that looks.
Because no, you're doing it wrong.
What do you mean I'm doing it wrong?
There's like there needs to be like two separate layers.
It's the same layer. How do I separate it?
Okay. No, the item you can like do some like item settings bullshit.
Oh my god!
And then it will work.
Item setting, Jesus Christ! I ain't freaking.
Excuse you. Did you not read instructions? What the fuck's going on?
There's no instructions for this hat.
I can't believe this. I have to do this. This grown ass man doesn't know how to hat.
It was on Twitter. It was a free asset on Twitter.
And there was no instructions on how to hat?
No, there's no. At least I don't think there was. I wasn't paying attention. Hold on, let me find. I gotta find the.
Maybe this man doesn't know how to read. Maybe this man doesn't know how to read.
I gotta find the damn hat now. I don't even know if it was an asset. Freaking. Where the hell is it? I don't even know where the hell the hat is. Hat asset. Yeah, there's no instructions. Hold on. Yeah, there's no instructions on this hat.
Maybe you just don't know how to hat.
I probably don't.
Don't know how to hat. Okay. Listen, I'm gonna teach you. I'm gonna teach you live.
You know what? Let me see. I'm gonna get one of these other ones that came with the asset that you put in front, I guess. Pin the model. All right, this looks even weirder. Right,
yeah, look at that. No, this looks normal. This looks like a normal goddamn hat. This man doesn't know how to hat.
I gotta line it up right though. See, look how. Okay, hold on.
Yes. And what's wrong with that? What's wrong with lining it up?
Okay, that's close as you're gonna get. So you fucked me up with the hat now.
What are you talking about? I fucked you up. Excuse you. You fucked yourself up.
It looks so weird now. See, now I can't wear the hat no more. So you done messed it up. You messed everything up.
You just make it bigger. Stop making excuses. Oh my god.
See, now I gotta freak. All right.
I messed it up. Not the man who doesn't know how to hat.
I don't know how to hat, which is why I freaking pay money to people.
Why is the bow going through the desk? Why is the bow going through the desk?
For hilarity. Just because.
Yes, not because this man doesn't know how to live 2D. Of course.
I don't, which is why I'm freaking pay people to do it.
You can like
there we go.
You
right,
can know
oh
the
god, that looks
minimum.
even worse.
You can know the minimum.
That looks worse.
You don't know how to do shit. It looks fine.
No, this doesn't. Look at it. Look at this thing just going all over the place. It's going all over the place, kitty. You done messed me up. God damn. I'm putting that hat back to where it was, behind me. It looks so weird. Red messed me up on the hat. Got me all jacked up on that. I'm putting that hat back behind me just because. Now for Christmas, I don't know what I'm gonna do for this here. Alright, freaking doing that damn thing and freaking hold on, let me get back to where I was. Alright. And
Face.
What's wrong?
Nice to see you again.
Yeah, it's me again.
Yeah. Oh yeah, finger guns. I'm glad that reminder helped you. Yeah.
Wait, what reminder?
Oh, don't worry about it. I was referring to when I reminded you about VTuber Research Club.
Oh yeah. I'm in there. I'll be there next Saturday. Yep. Or next Friday. Next Friday. Yeah, I'll be next Friday.
Awesome. It's always really cool to see who ends up like signing up for it. I don't think they actually. Oh, something wrong.
No, I'm writing your name down. Anytime I talk to somebody, I write your name down.
Oh, I see. It's for like the credits later, right?
Sure. Why not? Sure.
It's always fun to see what how like the schedule sort of evolves, because I do see like the back end of all the planning and stuff for VTuber Research Club, and they go like, oh, are they going to be on machine 1 or machine 2? Like, which robot are they going to put it on? They like shuffle it around because they try to VoopChat tries to match make, I'm sure, right? There's got to be some amount of algorithm with it. But in VTRC, they kind of do the same thing with the handlers. They go like, oh, well, this person wants to do this shift for handling. Let's see which VTubers want that particular time slot, and they'll like shuffle them amongst the bots to like sort of match a vibe, I guess.
Are you going to be in Atlanta?
Indeed, I am.
Oh.
I fly out on Tuesday night.
Oh God, well, you might be handling me, man. Maybe, probably. I don't know.
Maybe.
Oh boy,
Maybe.
that'll be an interesting little whatever thing going on over here for an hour or so.
Yeah. The schedule has not been decided for us yet. Yeah.
Like,
unless you want to request for me, though. I mean, I don't think they're going to stop you if you say
well,
like, "Hey,
it's
I
kind
want
of too
your
late.
pod."
I didn't know. I thought I was going to do Azure, but he ain't going. So no big deal.
Yeah, that was a last minute thing he told us.
Yeah,
too.
yeah, no big deal though. Ain't like, all right.
Mhm.
But this next Friday, I'll be so I will be. I'll see how it goes, and depending on how well it goes, I might do another one.
Before you had like when you first ran into me in here, you had like pre-planned questions. What are your questions like when you're on the robot? Are they different?
I don't know. I haven't done one of these.
Nah. Okay.
Like
then.
when they had the VTuber Research Club had the vupechat thing for TwitchCon, that's when I was just being chauffeured around. So I don't know how. I have no idea what I'm gonna do on Friday. I'm just gonna be like, hey, how you doing? I might do a talk show. Why the fuck not? Freaking, I don't know.
I mean, it's very on brand.
I don't really want to. I don't have any plans on seeing anybody. I'm just like, hey, I'm just saying hi to people, I guess. And if people want to say hi to me, and I'm like, that's cool. Hey, you want to talk about stuff? Let's talk about stuff. And
Well, yeah, sure.
Seeing how well it goes.
Especially since it's like in Atlanta, it's very different for like, because most people there probably never seen our robots.
Yeah, maybe. I don't
especially in person. So just don't threaten to run over anybody.
No, we can't do that. No.
Except your handler. That's fine.
Yeah,
That's
run over your handler. All right. If you get signed up with the VTuber Research Club, you heard it from the staff member himself, Chiffon Chevalier. Run over your handler.
It kind of comes with the job, because sometimes you want to like stop them before they fall off of a step or something. So you put your foot there, so when the robot bumps into it, it's like it stops it, So yeah. Does that count? I don't know.
All right. But yeah, I did a little tutorial with John to run the robot. I'm like, all right, that's pretty cool. I'm like, all right, so but yeah, we are ready for Friday.
Surprisingly smooth how easy it is to control.
Yeah.
Because I did try it out myself, and I was just like, I no wonder why they're able to thread the needle so easily.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
It works out.
So it doesn't know there's a feed cam.
Yeah, there is a feed cam. Yes, there's a foot camera, so you can kind of see what you're looking at. But yeah, it's really cool though. But yeah, depending on how well this one goes, I'm like, all right, I can go to conventions virtually without having to leave my house. Like hell yeah! I'm like, all right, that's cool.
That's the idea. Yeah. And it's kind of cool that they're able to do a collab with vupechat for it. I only wish that we could have the controls go through vupechat too.
Oh, dude, that's way too much. No.
I mean, we live in the future now. Come on, on-screen buttons. Boop, boop, boop.
Don't do that. No, they ain't. I don't think they're ready for that. But yeah, I'll be. Yeah, I'll be there Friday to see how well it goes. Just to meet new people and say hi to people at the convention. All right.
All right. It's nice talking to you
again. Good seeing you. All right. That's Chiffon Chevalier. He's part of the VTuber Research Club. He does like robots and stuff. If you ever wanted to go to a convention as a VTuber virtually, they can hook you up. You can go there. You can book time. You can book either like an hour or, you know, in my case, I'm paying $100 for 1 hour. So just to be there virtually, obviously you're paying like fees and stuff, and you can buy merch at the convention and have it sent to your house. It's freaking awesome. But we're getting ready. Oh, by the way, we're still having in about a half hour the VTuber Saturday Night Main Event watch along. Where we watch the last match. We're gonna watch it, and there may be some audio, maybe not. We don't know yet. We'll see. We're gonna watch it live here on Peacock or on Twitch after the show today.
Cara!
What up?
Hello. What up? How you doing?
What's so funny?
I just love your reaction. It's like, what up?
Like, what up?
News anchor is ready to party. You look great. I love your bow and is it the mistletoe?
I have no idea what this is. Let's just say it is. I don't know. It was just some fruit thing. Apparently it's some fruit. I don't know what this is. I had a hat on.
Wait.
I did have
Wait, is a mistletoe a fruit? Is a mistletoe a fruit?
Is it? I actually have no idea.
No idea.
Is it? Now I gotta look this up. Hold on. Mistletoe.
Yeah. Somebody educate me. I'm so dumb.
No,
Like, it's a mistletoe a fruit.
It is not a fruit. It is just a regular ass plant.
What?
It's not. Let's see here. Common name. The berries are normally white if there are berries. So
yes.
Okay.
That I know. I know the white berries, but this one's like, is a mistletoe a fruit or is like an herb or what is it?
Don't get me to lying. I have no idea.
Oh my god! You should eat next time, right? You do like a quiz, like quiz of VTuber. Just ask them that question, like, is a mistletoe like a fruit or a berry?
Wait, ask who?
Just the next time you like interview a VTuber.
Oh.
Just do that. Just shoot that out.
Is mistletoe a fruit or a berry?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I should have asked for Thanksgiving. How do you eat your cranberry sauce or something? But
to be fair, I can't answer that at all because we do not have Thanksgiving over here.
But you know what cranberry sauce is though, right?
I know what cranberry sauce is.
Okay.
Yeah. I had it before, but I never like.
Did you have it?
It's not common
You had it
here.
gelled or did you have it buried?
Gelled.
Yeah, that's the only kind. That buried kind is nasty.
I never tried that. I actually kind of want to try it now since you said it's nasty.
It's just literally just cranberries all like cut up. They're just cranberry. It's just cranberries in like the sauce.
Okay. Well, yeah. I think I tried that before. Never mind. I think when I tried it, it was homemade, so probably not.
Oh, homemade cranberry sauce.
Yes. So yeah, that was quite an experience, but no, never tried like Thanksgiving dinner, sadly.
Ah.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, it was lovely seeing you, Cara.
Right.
Have a good day.
Yep,
Merry Christmas.
See you later. It's not Christmas yet. Like, we ain't there yet. What are you talking about? All right. Hold up, Mac. Let me invite you to my Discord. All right, hold on. We got a freaking wait. Where we at? Let's see. Go here. Invite to server. We'll do it later. I can't wait to get home to you. I got so much work to do. Work.
Hello?
Baby, work. Oh, hello there.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. Very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
I read your description. I was like, Elf Gyadu. I'm like, hello? We love Gyadus here.
Everybody loves Gyarus.
Yeah. My fiance is actually Gyadu, so I'm like, oh. I'm like, hello?
Well, all right. Well, all right. Who's the muscle mommy that you're on top of right now?
So this is my friend Liv.
Oh, Liv.
Yeah. So I'm the crab Vil, and this is my friend Liv.
All right, we gotta write your name down. All right, Vil and Liv. All right, Vil.
Yeah.
Why does Liv look like she's a fighting game character?
Because she wants to.
All right, but you're on a talk show known as the Cara Carousel Show.
Yeah.
Talk with VTubers about VTuber stuff. I'm Cara Carousel. I am a Babaniku elf Gyaru VTuber. So that's my
wow. Very nice to meet. Okay, this is great.
So you're Vi. What are you? So you're just a crab.
So I don't need to give you the whole spiel, but basically our lore is that we live in a place called Paradise, which is the collective consciousness of all people. And so basically when your mind wanders, you're not actually lost in thought. You're just visiting Paradise for a little bit. So Liv and I are your tour guide in Paradise. Basically Liv used to actually not look like this. She used to be more not as muscular, but something bad happened and she couldn't protect her friends. And so now she imagined a version of herself that is strong enough to protect her friends. Hence why she's now a muscle mommy.
Sounds like a horror movie waiting to happen.
No, you're not wrong.
It really does. It sounds like a horror movie. Sound like wait a minute, it's not real. It's almost like a parasocial, like a paranormal activity kind of thing.
Yep.
That's
Well, here the
crazy,
funny thing is, you say paranormal activity. This is some of the souls of Paradise. She has all these friends of hers.
Oh my goodness, that's crazy. All right, so what made you decide to become a VTuber?
I wanted to be a VTuber because so I originally got into VTubing via clipping. I had a clip channel on YouTube, and then I became friends with a lot of VTubers through that clipping. And I saw a lot of my friends collabing and having fun together on stream. And so when I saw that, I was like, hey, wait a second. I want to do that. I want to be on stream and hang out with friends and that kind of stuff. And so I decided to become a PNG tuber. I did that for a year. And then I debuted with my first model and I've loved VTubing ever since.
All right. Now, how long have you been doing it?
I think we're coming on 3 years now.
Damn, 3 years. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Long time. Now, what do you stream? What do you stream? Do you stream at all or?
Yeah. No, I stream. Most of what I stream is I actually also do talk show stuff. I usually bring on friends and we talk about life, VTubing, kink. We have a very kink positive community here. And then other stuff I stream is like horror games, tarot reading. I enjoy all that kind of stuff.
And you everywhere.
Yeah. I like the spice of life. I like some variety,
Yeah, no, that's cool. No, I like the models. Yeah, she's competing with arm size here. Jesus Christ, let me arm.
Yeah. Well, she. We know what the people like.
And competing with Booba here too. Jesus Christ, it's insane. Now, what's your favorite food?
My favorite food. Would you believe me if I said crab?
No, I would. Why the hell not? I believe it.
Okay, wait. Real answer is pad thai, but I also do like crab.
Okay, well, all right. That's cool though. No, I like it. That's really cool. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Vil, it's been very nice meeting you.
It's very nice meeting you. Thank you so much. I hope you have a great day.
Vil and Liv, everybody. Give it a nice round of applause. All right.
Bye-bye.
You have a nice one now.
You too.
All right. They were cool. Yo, that's cool though. I ain't gonna lie. That was off the hook. That was really good. That was really good. I like. Yeah, they were good. Yeah, I'm like that whole lore. It's like that's some paranormal shit there. Sounds like a horror movie. That's cool though. I ain't gonna lie. That's really good.
Hi.
What up? Why? What's so funny? What's so funny?
The fact that I said, "Oh no, it's Cara again."
Oh, like oh god, it's the hour at the talk show. Look out!
Yeah, I'm like, oh no, not the talk show again. No,
It's
okay.
the talk show. Oh no!
I was saying it as a joke though, but it was.
Here he comes. This black guy with his self model coming in here asking me questions again.
Hi again though. How you doing?
We're doing all right. We actually just talked with the guests.
I just got skipped by them.
Oh.
I ran into them. I was their second person that they ran into, so it was okay. I was just like, oh, do I get to talk to them again? And then I was like, oh.
Okay. Yeah, okay. They were cool though. Their whole lore, it's like something out of a horror movie.
Oh.
Like the way it was set up, I'm like, that's something you see like in a horror movie. Something crazy.
I'll have to learn about their lore at some point then.
Some wacky stuff. But yeah, it's a crab with a female model holding it. But the crab's the one talking.
Yep.
I was like, what the heck? I'm like, I thought it was the female that was the model. But it's like, who's the muscle mommy right there? I'm like, oh, yeah, okay. Oh, she don't talk. I'm like, okay.
All right. Do you have more questions?
What have you been up to?
Oh, nothing much. You know, trying to figure out. I was trying to figure out the OBS virtual camera. As you can see, I did things wrong, so I'm in the void. But I can at least switch between my models now.
Oh, that's good.
So I guess that's a plus. I was like, oh, I'm in the void. Oh well, I'll figure that out later.
Okay. All right. Well, so what have you been playing game-wise? What you been doing? Like,
the last game that I played was Outlast Trials. They had a new update with a new Prime asset.
Everybody with these horror games. Why y'all like being scared and doing horror games?
I don't get scared too often. When I do, though, I'm gonna start cursing. Swear like a sailor.
Okay. Yeah, I ain't doing the horror. I'm too old. I'm the vupechat unk.
Vupechat unk.
I'm freaking like old. I'm one of the oldest people on here. I'm freaking
nothing wrong.
Freaking ancient.
Nothing wrong with being ancient.
Old as dirt.
Old as dirt.
But I gotta come up with some more outfits eventually. I'm gonna have a whole like Barbie lineup.
Expired. That's crazy, chat.
They call me expired. Really?
Yeah, Virus called you expired. I'm outing you, Virus. I'm tattling on you.
You know what, Virus? I should go over there and whip your ass. So you had me closing my whole thing. You piss me off, and come expired.
Yeah, here, hold on. We'll both be pissed off at him. Hey,
Jesus, where'd that come from? Where did that come from?
I told you I have multiple PNGs.
Good Lord. Let me put my desk back in here. Okay. Good grief.
Do it. I might like it. I mean, Virus. Virus, I gotta put you in the naughty corner.
Yeah, all right, well, put him in there.
I gotta bonk you. Hold on.
Hey, go bonk him, whatever the hell you gotta do.
Bonk. Okay.
All right. Wait, how many models you got?
Got 5.
5?
Yeah. Got 1.
Okay.
Got 2.
Yeah, see now. Okay, that one. All right.
3 with an alternate one because her glasses.
Ooh, I like that outfit. I might have to steal that.
Don't steal my PNG.
No, the outfit. Need like a
I mean,
like
you can. Yeah, you can.
almost like a
You can have
librarian
the
outfit. I mean, this model. I mean, this model itself, kind of with the whole outfit, I kind of look like a sexy librarian, sort of, kind of with this outfit.
This would be the
I
better.
don't know.
I guess the better one to use to take the outfit. But yeah, that was my
Like this
thing that I wanted
this
it
whole
to look
outfit
like.
is inspired by Shein. Like literally, you can buy this entire outfit on Shein.
I was like, all my guys' outfits were me and my artist friend sitting down and just looking through stuff and finding inspiration.
That's literally. I'm like, all right, what looks good on a model with huge titties? I'm like, that's literally what I put in. I'm like, all right, you know what? I like that one. I like those pants. I like these pants. I'm like, all right, you know what? And I like these heels. So that's
You have permission.
kinda-
You can take my
that's kinda
outfits.
what
I
we
don't
doing.
care.
No, I need to have a whole like lineup where I'm doing like how Barbie's got like 5 different outfits.
Yeah.
That's the whole gimmick. She's like, I'm like an elf Barbie.
Elf Barbie. I like it.
Elf Barbie. So we got like the Secretary Cara. We're gonna have Bimbo Cara, Biker Cara.
Biker.
Yeah, something like that maybe, but not as hard. Might have a Vegas girl Cara. Yeah. Oh my God, freaking that rigging to be a pain in the ass.
You got this. I believe in you.
I'm paying somebody. This model, I paid for this model. So
I know, but I believe in you figuring out what to do.
Vegas Cara. You gotta have firefighter Cara. You gotta have. Somebody in my chat just said gymnast Cara.
Gymnast.
I don't know why.
they just want to see you in tights.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't know why that came up, but gymnast Cara.
Here, I also got other versions of some models because there was a joke with a game where I got called a horse basically, so I have a few of them as ponies.
You got ponies.
Yeah, I got a few ponies.
Yeah, we got gymnast Cara, maybe snow person Cara, armored knight Cara. Oh, me with armor on, that'd be cool. Fully
that would be cool.
Fully armored up. With a
What about security guard, Cara?
Oh, security guard, Cara. Oh hell yeah! It's gotta be.
That actually sounds nice. That rolls off the tongue.
It's gotta be like a one piece, like a police skirt. It's just one whole like overall piece. Maybe I don't know. I need to contact my artist. Or no, I had to contact the person that made my character sheet. I'm like, hey, I got some more ideas. Ooh, rocker Cara, like rock star Cara, with a guitar. Oh,
We're just gonna start writing everything down.
Yeah, well, it's being recorded, so I have an idea. So yeah, we got rocker Cara, gymnast Cara, workout muscle mommy Cara. No, not muscle mommy. Gym Cara. Ooh, I would do a military Cara, but in all the heat that Zentreya got with her her outfit, I don't know. Which is so dumb.
That was crazy.
That was dumb.
It was dumb.
Like really,
Goth. Virus said goth.
Goth Cara. How? I don't know. That maybe.
Just dye your hair like white and black.
Dye my hair. Have black hair instead of blonde hair.
Yeah, and then like white tips.
Yeah. Ooh, maybe. K-pop Cara. Somebody in the chat just
K-pop Cara. That fits. I like it.
Wait, so I would dress up like a
K-pop idol.
A K-pop idol, like K-pop idol Cara.
Yeah.
I gotta come up with some ideas though. I
think chat just wants you to sing K-pop.
No, oh God, you don't want to hear that. No, I don't think you do. No way. One Piece Pirate Cara. Oh.
What else is there? So many outfits and ideas.
Yeah, we're gonna have to look. We have to Google Barbie outfits.
You know what?
And just come up with some.
Let's see.
You're actually Googling it right now. You're actually
Oh, of course,
Googling.
cowgirl.
Oh shoot, you're right. I do have 8 minutes. Yeah, we're doing. I'm about to do a collab, but we got time though. We got time.
All right, hold on now.
I
I just gotta type in.
Are you really
different?
Are we really
Barbies?
Oh my god. Okay, we're gonna different Barbies.
Well, why not, Doctor?
Dr. Cara. I don't know. I didn't see here.
Let's see. Various careers: doctor, astronaut, chef. Interesting.
Chef Cara.
Chef Cara.
Right.
Put you in an outfit like Gordon Ramsay.
I don't know. That'd be interesting. That'd be very interesting. How about wedding dress Cara? I'd put my hair in a bun.
Mermaid Barbie. There's a mermaid Barbie.
No, that's probably a
No, no mermaid.
No mermaid. No mermaid. No, we're not doing a mermaid. No.
There's a ballerina Barbie apparently.
Ooh, maybe.
I don't know how I feel about this one. This is from the Barbie movie, apparently. Diplomat Barbie.
No. I don't know.
What are some of these Barbies?
Mad Science Cara. I don't know. Me and a scientist, so almost like Android 21, kind of, with that outfit. Maybe.
What about... What do we got? What's this one? Ad, get the hell out of my way. I'm doing research here. For someone that's not even me.
It's not even for you, it's for me. Well, this might give you ideas for more PNGs.
Well, this looks like I'm gonna assume like an adventure person. It doesn't say. Oh, that looks like a disco outfit.
Oh, 70s Cara. Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, Mad Science Cara maybe, but that might work.
Mad Dog, no! No!
Wait, what?
I have to sing. No.
Oh, lordy.
Why you do this to me? Okay, was there anything you guys would like to hear sing?
Oh, God, you gotta sing?
Yes, I have to sing.
Oh, boy.
What, any songs you'd like to hear? You're the guest.
No. I don't know. Oh, boy. Well, I have to get ready for a collab here, so...
You gotta go anyway.
I gotta go anyway. I don't know.
Whew.
Maybe
Saved by the bell.
Yeah, you see, I saved your ass.
Now I'll just have to sing for the next person.
There you go. They won't see it coming. And God,
I just sing and they'll never see it coming.
oh my God, sing that. There you go. You can sing that to them. Be like, what the hell's going on?
Oh, that would be funny.
All right.
I'd have to learn that though, fully.
All
right, take care, bye.
All right, that is the show. We're gonna be doing. Oh, that Mac, did you get the invite for the thing? I don't know what the hell we're gonna. I don't know how the hell we're gonna do this collab thing, but we're gonna figure it out as we go. So we're gonna figure it out in about a half hour. I gave you an invite, so just jump in there. I'm gonna change the title. Hold on, where we at? Okay, let me see here. Where we at? Here, there, that. Okay. So yeah, we gotta get ready for Saturday night's main event. All right, so we're gonna. Oh, you're actually in there already. Fuck. Okay. All right, hold on. Let me readjust my stuff to I gotta change it to just chatting. All right, we gotta change everything. Just chatting. Let's see here. We're gonna VTuber collab. And we're gonna look, it's probably gonna take us a half hour to figure out how to do the multiplayer collab. Fuck. Wait, which channel? I thought we were doing mine. Or yours. Wait, you have a Discord? All right, live reaction stream, WWE. Okay, we'll do that as a tag. Okay, so. All right, give me a few minutes to, Oh, I did? Son of a bitch. How I send you that? I thought I sent you my Discord info. Okay, hold on, hold on. I thought I sent you mine. Hold on. Invite to server. The Carousel Studios, right? Yeah, that's my Discord. Okay, so all right. I'll be back in like 3 minutes, and we're gonna do our live reaction to the Saturday night's main event. We're gonna figure it out as we go. So be right back. So if you're in here and you want to watch some live reactions, we're gonna get some popcorn ready and all that stuff, and we'll see you in a second. Okay.